Thank you for calling Amazon. This is Harry. How may I help you?
Harry, what's going on today, you dumb fuck? Go ahead, please. Tell the people. Go ahead, please. Harry?
Yes, sir. Listen
What are
to
you
you.
doing? What are you doing, Harry? You want to hook up to my phone? I have Apples and Androids. I have like 6 phones over here. Which one do you want to hook up to? Go ahead, fucker.
You have a phone?
Harry, I can't really understand you. Talk louder.
You have a six phone over there, right?
Yeah, which one do you want to hook up to?
And take your cell phone and put it down your mother's.
I can't hear you too clearly, but folks, I think he insulted my mother.
Thank you for connecting to the Amazon. My name is Harry. How may I help you?
Harry, we got disconnected, bitch. I'm sorry. I think it was my fault. Go ahead, fucker. What else were you saying?
Why are you calling me again and again?
Why are you scamming again and again and again? Answer the question, Claire, and I'll tell you why.
I'm saying any personal question.
I'm sorry?
I am saying any personal details over this phone.
I don't quite understand you. You have to talk clear, please.
Just be on the line.
I want to hear every little word that comes out of your filthy mouth, scammer.
Hello?
Harry, number 3. I'm so sorry. I keep hitting the wrong button. What were you saying?
How many phone over there? Many times you
How many
calling.
what?
How many phone over there?
Oh,
You calling?
way more phones than you will ever see in your lifetime. Yeah, we have more phones than you have call centers.
Thank you for being connected to the Amazon.
Is this Harry? Is this number 4? 4 in a row, Harry. 4 in a row. Go ahead, please. Say some good shit to the people. Why do you need to know that?
Thanks so much for calling RV AD&D Preferred Dealer. You're talking to Marshall. How can I help you today?
Hey, Marshall, is it possible in any way to reserve an ounce of COVID? I run a museum of diseases, and somebody broke in and they stole the flu and the chicken pox, and I'm thinking we can kick off a new campaign with COVID on display for people to see. Go ahead, please.
AD&D Preferred Dealer. You're talking to Marshall. How can I help you today?
Hey, Marshall, is it possible in any way to reserve a Siberian Husky dog? I know there's going to be a shortage, and I've always wanted one of those. Can I reserve one?
Dealers, how can I help you today?
What do you do? I don't even understand who I called. You mumbled it. Where did I call?
You called AT&T and DirecTV.
Oh, AT&T. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my fault. I've been calling you guys asking for you to reserve dragons and an ounce of COVID and a Siberian Husky. Oh, my. I'm thinking you're the airlines. He switched the scam number. I didn't even check. I got to start looking at chat more. We're fucking with the AT&T scammers now. My bad. We're going to have to start over, sir, so I can get some good content. I'll call you right back. It's what I do, bitch.
Thanks for calling. My name is Mark. Help you?
What's going on, dumb fuck? Talk to me. No job yet, huh?
Sorry?
Still scamming people, aren't you?
Sorry?
What are you sorry about?
Sorry?
I know. You should be sorry.
Sorry? Can you hear me?
You've said that already. Go ahead, please. Of course, you know I can. Here we go, world. We got the intelligence scammer on the line. He's trying to pull the do you hear me thing. Go ahead, please.
Speak louder.
You're live on the radio. Tell the world, why are you a scammer? I'll call you back, bitch. It's what we do here on Scammer Radio.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Hi, Tate. How are
Good
you
morning,
today?
each and everyone. Morning,
How
CJ.
how are you doing today?
Nope.
Well, good morning, everybody. Sorry I haven't really said hey in chat yet. I was busy with technical trying to make sure I was technically ready. I see everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Chester, Mark, Raz, Domesticated, Lisa, B, everybody. Maid, sorry it's a little bit late for me to say hi to everybody, but we really appreciate y'all being here.
Absolutely.
Good morning,
Connecticut in the
Ernest,
house.
West. Yep. It's another great day of chat. So how was your day yesterday, Take? Did you have any good baits?
I think I talked to about 100 different scammers, most of them at the Canadian U.S. pharmacy. So hopefully we'll get that out to people. I think we all tried all day long to get them to sing happy birthday. And I think one of them said, happy birthday, I hope it's your last. So
Yeah, I
it
heard
was
that.
kind of a fun day.
That's pretty terrible.
The
Did
day's
you
always never complete until you're abused by a Canadian pharmacist with a
did you
Filipino
get
accent
I know, did you
who
get that?
swears that they are in California.
Yeah. Did you get that NYPD one? I couldn't tell if that was a scam or if he was just trying to throw me off, but he answered like NYPD 911. Did you get that guy?
No, not yesterday, but I've had them transfer calls to legit businesses, so you always want to be careful at first, but usually it's just them trying to be clever and witty, but you're never going to go wrong if you just are polite, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I just said to him like, you have an emergency. Scammers are pretending to be NYPD. That's all I really said, and then he hung up. So I thought that was
Yeah, I'm
pretty weird.
jealous. I didn't get that. I didn't quite get that.
So how's everyone in chat doing? It looks like we got a good group again today, and Scammer Jammer will be on in about an hour. Both Iron
I'm
and
very excited.
Hammer. Yeah, I'm super super excited.
Like their videos are like watching a movie. I mean, they do these long, wasting 6 hours of the scam, or sometimes 36 hours. I think I saw them do one time. I cannot wait to talk to these guys.
Yeah, what do you think your longest bait has been? Do you
30
think
seconds.
no? Have you gotten up to an
No.
hour before? Hey, Joe
What's
Scambait.
that?
Joe Scambait's in the house. Hi, Mr. I
Oh, what's
Spy.
up, Joe Scambait? That's an honor. Thank you, sir.
And Chester and
Um,
Raz, please feel free to post links for people's channels. That would be great. Good morning, Lacey.
what up, Lacey?
Morning, Ozzy. Anyway, so have you gotten up to an hour before, you think?
I think I have actually, but I don't post those calls because I think most of the people that tune into what I do is kind of to see me with the angry nonsense and the rage and the goofiness. There's a couple calls I have where I try to have heart to hearts with the 0.5% of the scammers that we talk to that we think we can convince that what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
And I do have like a few hours of tape of people that I've talked to that I've actually, talked offline with a lot about Netflix and movies and music, and they really don't like what they're doing. Again, we'll always go back and forth where I don't like what you're doing either. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been poor in my life. I'm not good right now like I used to be, but I would never think about going to rob somebody to pay my bills because of my situation. And that's usually their argument. Um,
Right.
but I do have a lot of calls like that. I just don't post them.
What about the one where you got the Zelle? I don't know if everyone knows about that one, where you got the Zelle account.
Yeah, we were doing the campaign, I think, back then, and it kind of disappeared to report as many Zelle accounts as we can from those auto parts scumbags that pretend to sell cheap auto parts and then take your money. And had to tone it down and be very serious and asking for parts. And I got the Zelle account, and who knows what it does, but that's what we were doing. So I had to tone it down. I wasn't going to call Auto Parts asking for parts for my Dragon.
Well, that's awesome though that you did that. I know that you do go longer, but you have a lot of real conversations too with them that you don't post, like where you actually get through
Sometimes
to
it's
them.
funny. I mean, I'm just looking at the chat, and I mean, I'm just like Joe. Now I just want to make them angry too. And it's like you're on the phone with
Yeah.
somebody that has just scammed somebody out of their money, and they're lying to you, and you know goddamn well that their name is not Mark Johnson from uh, Ohio. It just makes you so angry. I don't have patience like some of the other like you serious baiters do, where you can do these long calls and pretend to be an innocent victim. I just hit them right up from the beginning. But then because I do that, sometimes they break down and they stay on the phone with me, and then it goes a whole different direction. It's like
Yeah.
I try to call them to say I need criminals to help me steal a painting from a Norway museum, and then before you know it, we're having a heart to heart about his life.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Yeah, that's so true. If y'all missed it yesterday, we had Chester Draws on. Draws. I feel so southern when I say that. I don't know why. Chester Draws. And it was really awesome. So I definitely encourage you to go back and at least listen to some of his part because it was a lot of
I can't
fun.
hear the stream obviously because we're talking, but if it sounds like a little computerized, then you'll be like a Southern R2D2.
Yeah. Yeah, can and please let us know in the chat. Like he said, we have our stream down because we would get feedback. So if at any point you can't hear us, just please let us know in the chat because we don't know otherwise. Joe said I.
Jesus. Yeah,
Sorry,
I
go
was just
ahead.
reading that.
Um, Joe said I just had a 21-year-old that just fell for a romance blackmail scam and he lost $1,000. Dollars, I'm assuming. That's terrible. I really want
It's
to
kind
do.
of what we were saying yesterday.
Yeah, I really want to do some like romance scams, but like they're really hard to do because when I try to make a fake, like I made a fake what is that dating site? Plenty of Fish or something like that. I made like a fake account. Well, I guess they knew it was fake because they took it down like the next day. And when I try to make fake Facebooks, maybe I'm not good at making fake ones. I tried to make a fake Facebook, and like I didn't know how to get friends on the Facebook to make it look realistic, so that I could try to find a romance scam.
I mean, he's exactly saying what I was trying to, I guess, articulate yesterday. You know, it's not just the elderly and the disabled. I mean, that's sickening,
Mm-hmm.
but so many young people fall for these scams too. I think I was getting a haircut, I think, a couple weeks ago, and the girl had get scammed out of $1,200 because she got um, involved in one of those puppy things. She thought she was buying a puppy, and she drove all the way to New Hampshire from New York, and obviously they didn't meet her, and they took 1,200 of her dollars, and she never heard from them again.
Mm, that's
So
awful.
young people get scammed too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And even the other scams like the tech support and stuff. I think some younger people uh, get scammed as well. See, and that's the worst part, Joe. Joe said he sent them naked pictures. Like, I always worry about that. Like, those people, like, they send, you know, personal photos to someone that turns out to be a catfish. Makes me,
Yeah.
uh, makes me feel really bad.
Yeah, hopefully we can have Joe one morning and he can, we can show some of his work. It's amazing. I've been a big fan for a long time, and if you can talk a little bit more about romance scams, I think it's a little bit different than what people are used to. We normally, deal with the Indian call centers, but there's a ton of scams in the world. From Nigeria, from Jamaica, all around, from the United States even.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joe, we would really love to have you on the show sometime. So I'll try to message you later and see if I can convince you to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we might be after next week. I think we have Dan Gleeball stopping by, which is going
Yeah,
to be real exciting. I have still not heard back from Britney Spears, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Meryl Streep. So we have room,
man,
you
I
know?
can't believe that you
Yep.
haven't heard back from them.
No, I mean, well, Britney Spears still has me blocked from, personal matter. Um,
Uh,
but the others have no excuse not to get back to me, but they're ignoring me. Rude.
that is rude. So yeah, if anybody wants, maybe we should just start a group of people that all have fake Facebooks, and then we can all be friends with each other, and then we can like romance scam, housing scam. What other Facebook scams are there? Car scams.
I mean, I haven't been on Facebook since Nam, but I mean, I always hear horror stories of Facebook Marketplace scams, Instagram scams, a lot of Bitcoins. I think scammers use Instagram and find people. Um, I mean, there's a ton of stuff. I'm just not big on social media anymore. But I know I'm friends with Mike Tyson on my Facebook. Like, I think 10 different Mike Tysons. I don't know which one's the
Ah,
real one,
there
but
you
maybe
go.
we can get Mike Tyson to come on.
Yeah, there you go. And I still think the best solution is to find people. Remember, there was an old commercial like that where they found like a Tom Hanks, but it wasn't the Tom Hanks. It was like somebody else whose legal name was Tom Hanks. You remember that old
Right.
commercial? If we just do
Yeah, and I
that,
always thought
we'll
that
get
was the
lots
guy
of.
from MySpace because everybody, if they remember MySpace, uh, the first friend you had was Tom.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
You should
I
get
do
that guy
remember
on.
that. I don't know that. I think that's kind of dating us as old. Maybe some of these people are too young to remember MySpace.
Yeah, I think I was in my 30s when MySpace became a thing. But MySpace was like here today, gone today. I mean, it really didn't last that long. Facebook just came out and kicked its ass.
Yeah. Dill, thank you so much for sharing that lovely tidbit. I won't even read it. But anyway, I was reading this weekend about did you ever watch a lot of The Simpsons?
I personally have not. I mean, I think when I used to have like very high hair, people used to say, "Oh, it's Sideshow Bob." So I know Sideshow Bob is
Yeah.
a character on The Simpsons, but I was never a huge fan. And I did live in Springfield, Massachusetts, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't that take place in Springfield?
Yeah, I thought it was Springfield, Illinois. I don't know, I can't remember.
Well, semantics.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I saw this news article this weekend. I thought it was really funny because it reminded me of a Simpsons episode. There was this Simpsons episode where he went to this all you can eat buffet, and he was eating so much food that they actually kicked him out. And then he sues them, and then like their settlement is that they just make him like a display at the restaurant, so people like come to the restaurant and they watch him eat. And it was a really funny episode of The Simpsons. But I saw this news article. Hold on, I just was pulling it up if you heard me typing. But this man got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat buffet because he ate more than 20 pounds of food in one sitting.
That's rude. I thought it's all you can eat.
I know, that's what I mean. Like I kind of. Oh, and he was from Springfield, Massachusetts. Um,
That's
he
where I was just from.
Yeah, he was suing for $2 million for false advertising after being literally thrown out of the chain's restaurants by the employees. Um, I don't know. I feel like it was a Golden Corral. I feel like they can't really do that. I mean, they advertise it as all you can eat.
They might have fine print somewhere where it says all you can eat, but if you go over a certain pounds, we have the right to remove you from the premises. Um,
You think so?
I don't know.
When would you agree
I
to
don't know.
those
I just know how the
terms?
world works, and there's always fine print. It just seems like it's ridiculous if it says all you can eat and they kick somebody out because they're eating all that they can.
Yeah. Now he was
We
there
need to
for.
call Golden Corral one of these days.
Yeah, we should call him and ask him, like, do they have a response to this? Let
You
me
have a
see how
pound
old this
limit.
is. Sometimes I look at new. Oh no, this is from November. No wait, I don't see the date.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at
You,
news stories that are like 4 years old, but still. Um, he was there for more than 7 hours. So, the question kind of remains like, yeah, is it okay to just sit there all day and eat if you paid for an all you can eat buffet, or is that kind of like, you know,
I want to talk to that guy. I want to talk to the guy that they threw out. Like,
I
what's he
know, we
doing for
should
seven
talk to
hours
him.
that um, he can spend 7 hours at lunch? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
job does he have? Does he not job? Does he do scam baiting? Like,
Yeah, maybe
why is
he's
he
a scam
spending 7 hours
baiter.
at Golden Corral? That's the real question here.
So here's a quote from what he said. He said, "With
So
my
scam bait. Why you know eat vegetable? I know that. That's that John Panay guy. I love him.
oh,
Yeah, go ahead, CJ.
I was just gonna say, here's a quote from what he said. Hold on, I just lost it. Where'd it go? He said, "With my income, I rarely go to the restaurant, so I try to get as much as I can for my money when I do. This was the worst experience I ever had in a restaurant. Not only did they kick me out while I was still hungry, but they looked at me like I was disgusting, like I was not even worthy of eating there."
I need to talk to this guy. He's still hungry after 7 hours of eating.
He ate an estimated between 50 and 70 pounds of food while he was there.
Jesus. So they kicked him out before he even got dessert, because usually those places have like little cookies and pudding and little cakes and ice cream.
I guess this is old because it says the primary hearing in this case should take place on March 7th. So
I
I'm always
I
really
got to
behind
agree,
in the
though.
news.
He's got a right to be angry.
Yeah. So I just wonder, like, I wonder if, yes, is there any, like, I don't know, like, do you think it was immoral of him to sit sit there all day and eat?
I don't. I mean, it says all you can eat. There's no
Yeah.
time limit. I don't think he did anything wrong. I would like to know what this guy does for a living that he has 7 hours to spend at a Golden Corral. Maybe it was a weekend. I don't know. But, I mean, I'll be like a scammer. Is this what you do all day?
Yeah.
Don't you have a job to do?
Well, of course, the
He's
Golden
definitely
Corral.
sweating while he's eating.
Yeah. The Golden Corral issued a press release announcing that the decision to expel Mr. Flemings was a regrettable personal initiative from an overzealous franchise manager. So it sounds like the Golden Corral didn't even support the decision.
So, yeah, and we don't know the whole story. I mean, maybe the guy would eat for an hour and then walk around the block. Well, I guess once he left, they wouldn't let him back in. I don't know if they stamp your hand. It's probably not like
Yeah.
a club here in New York, but maybe he does 20 push-ups, and then I don't know. I feel bad if he gained that much weight in 7 hours. That's a lot of pounds to be shoveling down your face.
Yeah, I don't think your stomach even holds 50 pounds of food, does it? Or was he there long
mean,
enough that he could have, like, digested some of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to talk with him, like I said. I mean, try to get him in for Tuesday.
Okay, I'll see if I can get to him.
I did call Lorena Bobbitt not too long ago. You remember her?
Oh, yeah, that cut off the penis.
She cut off her husband's penis,
Yeah.
and it was in the news where she was working. She was working at a hair studio, and I did call her, and she picked up the phone, but she wasn't too friendly, and I was very scared of her, actually. But I'll have to find that call to post.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah,
But
Joe
yeah,
says it's a moral thing, which is always the issue. Like, we leave moral choices up to the public. you know? I mean, Joe thinks that there should be a limit, even though it says all you can eat. Morning, Sven. Morning, DA, if I haven't said morning to you. Sorry if I miss people. It's definitely unintentional. It's just because when the stream started, I was piddling on my computer.
Oh, what up, Mary?
Hi, Mary. Good morning, Christine. And good morning, Zip. So yeah, I just thought that was funny this weekend. And like I said, the episode of The Simpsons is hilarious. Like, you should look it up because at the end of the encounter, he's like in this glass box and people are just coming in and like watching him eat. And that's how they
I'll have to
settled
binge
it.
watch it.
Yeah.
I think I've
Good
seen like
morning,
one or two
Betty.
episodes of The Simpsons in my whole life.
Good
What up,
morning,
Betty?
Zebulon.
Loved your video this morning.
Yeah, Betty's gonna be on the show as well. Since she works, so we might pre-record it. So I'm not sure when we will do that. But she
So
is going to be
eventually,
on the show too.
Betty is somebody I would like to work with in the future, like, and not do like a 30-second rage call that I'm known for. I'd like to kind of write it out and have characters. But she's so amazing the way that she messes with these scammers. I've been a fan ever since hearing her. So
Yeah, she's awesome.
I think we could put together a good call.
Yeah, and then the other morning. I don't know, how do you say that? Seoul? Is that? I know that sounds way too southern. Soul Survivor.
Korean, right?
Yeah. And like I said, all you mods, feel free to post channels. Like Soul Survivor has a great channel. And of course Joe Scambait. Betty has a great channel. Please feel free to post those links and y'all check them out. We're here to support everybody for sure.
And West Haven, I saw earlier. I don't know if she's still here, but she does a lot of streaming and kind of get-togethers, and she does a lot of shout-outs and is very big on helping everybody follow each other and supporting everybody. So check out West Haven, always and forever as well. I'm not saying that just because I'm from New Haven, but she's an awesome person.
Yeah, thank you, Wes, for all your support. She has quite an eclectic streams, so they're pretty entertaining because they're all always
You
different.
never know who you're gonna meet in one of her streams. I think we met the ghost chasers and paranormal stuff. I learned a lot actually just hanging out one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, do you believe in ghosts?
I personally don't know how I feel about that. Like I was telling you when I spent my summers in Philadelphia at my grandparents' flag company. They lived in like an old building which is kind of famous called Carpenter's Hall. They were the caretakers, and I don't know why. I mean, they would smoke pot and drink way into their 80s and 90s, but they were in charge of this historical building, and it was supposed to have the ghosts of like Ben Franklin upstairs. I never went up there. But I don't quite know how I feel about ghosts.
I have seen a ghost before. I know I saw one. I was walking at school at Clemson. I went to Clemson for my undergraduate degree. And I was walking there and there was this really old building and I saw this person. Morning, Carl. Like sitting there like almost like transparent like. And I just kept walking and I didn't pay any attention to them and they just went away.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's if you think you saw a ghost and you really did, who am I to say that you didn't? Because I don't believe in them. So anybody tells me they see a ghost, I'm like, okay, you saw it.
So
we'll get you help.
Should I pray that you see a ghost? And then you'll feel like more convinced?
I mean, I have two little cats called Each and Everything. I can imagine having a ghost in this apartment with these two cats. I mean, the cats can see things that we don't see. I think they would be the first one to see the ghost before I did. So yeah, pray. Bring a ghost in here. I get lonely sometimes. Send me a ghost.
Okay, I'll pray for that. That reminds me.
Yeah, and I'll text you the measurements.
Yeah, that reminds me, like yesterday, I I was like telling this guy like Jesus told me that you're trying to hurt me, that you're lying to me. Well, one of our friends, I won't mention their name, cut it up and it made it sound like I was saying like Jesus is a liar. I had to
Oh,
beg them
yeah,
not
that'll
to
be a
post
clip.
that. I'm like, you're gonna bring curses on all of us.
Yep. They're always being recorded nowadays.
Okay, Joe, have a great day. It was so great having you coming by, and I'm gonna be bothering you
Yeah,
later.
later, Joe. Thanks so much, man.
Yep. So you see any good news articles lately? I know a lot of it has been talking about that school shooting.
I have not even turned on anything except for YouTube in the last 48 hours. And then I had 6 hours of calling criminals yesterday. I've been so out of it, trying to wake up early so we can talk to people and put this together. And then, at 1 o'clock, we start flooding these idiots. Before you know it, it's like dark out. So
Yeah.
I haven't watched the news at all.
Good
There was
morning,
another school
Darth.
shooting.
Yeah, it was like last week. It was a 15-year-old kid who looks like about 12. Like he's got like such a baby face. I think
So he was angry.
Yeah, I think like 4 people were killed. 4 children were killed. But it's been on the news because his parents also got arrested for it because just like a few days before this um they bought him the gun and they were all like proud of it. They're like, "Look, we bought our child the gun." Bye, John. Have a great
Yeah, it's
day.
sickening.
Love you. So
And
they
that's the
just
whole
got
thing.
arrested.
What up,
Yeah.
Darth? They'll make a big gun control case out of that, I'm sure. Maybe they already have. I haven't watched the news, but like I've said it all along, it's like it's not the guns aren't the problem. The people are the problem.
Yeah, for sure. I've said that a million times. Although, I mean, gun control is, an issue here and also that like people I've had several people in India like my friend Peter. If you haven't seen it, we interviewed Peter, was our second interview. He used to be a scammer. He's one of my friends now. Was telling me how hard it is to get a gun in India, and when they like think about America, they're like scared of Americans because they think like all Americans have guns because they're so much easier to get over here.
Yeah, he's not far off. I mean, I can walk right
Yeah.
outside my apartment and probably buy anything I want from my neighbor.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
So true.
You did remind me of something though yesterday. I did like one of those nonsense calls turned out to be a guy who wants to talk to us, and I have his phone number.
Oh, awesome! Tell me about that.
I would call him. I'd say call him right now, but the problem is the phone number is in my car, and I don't want to walk outside because right now it seems like my audio is better, right?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so I'm hanging out with my cats in my apartment for once. I'm not on the street on the bench talking or sitting in my car. But yeah, I'll get that number. Maybe we can call him one day. He's willing to come on. And obviously I did my WSCAM radio bit, and he's very excited to be on the radio.
Yeah, that would be.
And he hates what he does. He hates it. So
I know I shouldn't feel sorry
it's
for
the first
him.
step.
It's not that I feel sorry for them or anything. But I don't know. I guess because I hate was stuck in a job for a long time I hated. I guess my instinct is I feel slightly like sympathetic when you're stuck in a job you hate, but I also know that they're scamming, so I don't feel sorry for them too, but it's kind of a weird thing that goes on in my head when I hear that. Mark said the parents were on the run. The parents of the shooter, and bail is $500,000 each.
They're probably hanging out at the Golden Corral.
I know, right? Eating all day.
First they're giving away guns. Now they're eating way too much at a restaurant.
Yeah,
taking advantage of everybody.
So, do you ever feel sorry for the scammers?
Yes and no. I mean, they're criminals. They know what they're doing is wrong, and they steal from the innocent. They're scumbags in that way. I do think that the culture is a little different with them in that it's tolerated there, so they get involved in things a lot more, I think, easier than we would here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's bad people in every country, and it seems like all of the bad people, find these call centers to work in. Um,
Yeah.
but I think the majority of myself does not feel bad for them. I've been poor in my life, like I've said. I've never thought about robbing somebody or swindling them out of money to pay my bills. If I can't pay my bills, I just can't pay my bills. That's my fault for not going to school enough or for working harder at a job or anything. I mean, a lot of these kids think everything should be handed to them and they'll say they quit if we will give them a job. Why should we have to give them a job?
Right.
Why is it our responsibility? There's jobs there. We know that. We have friends there. They're just
Right.
going to make more scamming people. It's the same thing as here. It's like you could easily go be a drug dealer and promote crystal meth cut with fentanyl and be a bad person and people overdose on it. Um, it's decisions. It's morals. They don't seem to care about hurting people, which makes me
Right.
crazy.
What
So
What
I
about
guess
the
I don't
ones
feel bad
that
for them.
do care and they feel stuck there? Do you feel sorry for them?
Feel sorry for who?
The ones that do care, like they hate, like this guy, he hates what he's doing, but he feels trapped.
Right, but he feels trapped because if he goes to get a job at the local shop, he's going to make half the amount of rupees that he's getting in a call center.
Right.
So what if the call centers didn't exist? What if this was not tolerated over there? How would they survive? What would they do?
Right. That's
I
true.
mean, I don't know. I hear tons of stories about people that are in the projects right down the street from me that have gone to be lawyers and doctors and you know a lot of them are our favorite rappers grew up. I mean, it's about perseverance and never giving up, and you keep working harder than the next person to get ahead. I
Right.
mean, there's no free rides. They just
That's
care about
true.
the end result. They don't care about how they get there or who they hurt. So I don't feel bad for a lot of them. 99.9% of them.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's not to say they can't change. We all make mistakes, and
Yeah.
I think Mary's a perfect example. She converts people and talks with them, and that gives them a little caring and tough love, and the next thing you know, that person's not scamming and sees a different path in life. So it's those 0.5% of the population that scams. I think is what we really want to feel sorry for.
Yeah. That's so true.
My opinion, anyway.
I think you're right. Yeah, I would agree. And the same with my friend Peter. He really regrets scamming and has changed. So, like I've, I mean, he didn't scam me, but I personally choose to forgive him for that. Good morning, Pegasus. Have a great day.
Was that the gentleman who actually told you, ma'am, you're getting scammed? Those are scammers.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. He did a good thing. So I mean, some do have
yeah,
hearts, you know.
yeah, yeah, and he did scam and regrets that. He was one that started off. Excuse me, I'm still sick. He's one that started off like, and what he thought was a legitimate company, and the company got more and more and more scammy as time went on. Like, they started with charging $100 to do some stuff on their computer, and then they got more and more scammy into refund scams, and it kind of happened slowly. And he just, you know, but he never, he refused to like ever take large amounts of money, even when he was a scammer. Like, he could have scammed for a lot and he didn't, but still he shouldn't have. And so I I am friends with him. I don't hold it against him. And again, he didn't do anything to me, so I don't hold it against him, and he's changed, but I can understand the mentality that scammers are scummy.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think they are, and I mean, I also do think people can change. I mean, that's kind of what our system is designed to do, right? We have jails and people do their crimes, and um, hopefully they can reform themselves in some way, but it's got to come from them. I mean, it can't come from
Right.
other people. But Mary brings up a good point. Sometimes they're waiting for the right person, whether they know it or not, to show them a different way. And I think that's what we all want sometimes on these calls. It's not just about getting goofy content. Sometimes for me, I like to talk with them as much as I can. And some of the calls, like I said, do start off raging and calling them, an effing loser, and you're hurting people, you're destroying people's lives. Some people have even killed themselves over this. Um,
Right.
one one out of 100 may say, "Oh, I never looked at it that way," and then maybe they'll
Right.
change.
Yeah, that's so true. And I still want to have Martin. I just need to ask him when he can come on. That we were talking about yesterday. That really didn't know it was a scam and didn't stay and actually scam anybody. So it would be interesting to see how he got recruited and everything.
Yep. Yeah, and it's the couple people I've met, and we talk offline and we text and call each other and we talk about non-scamming related things. You still need to be wary. I'm still always thinking in my mind, um, when are they going to hit me up for, I'm late on my bills this month. Can you please wire me money or anything like that? It hasn't happened yet, but if
Right.
it does, it's not like I'm going to be disappointed and think, okay, I thought this person who works in a scam call center was my legit friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I talk to him and we talk about things and I get a little inside information every now and then. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if take is on the take,
Yeah.
on his take. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it. I mean, I still don't trust any of them yet.
Well, the best thing to do is like sure let him ask away and just don't give him anything, you know.
Right.
You know.
So these goddamn cats in my apartment, they keep making me buy different types of food. Pretty soon I'll be in a scam center. I'm broke over here with these cats.
Lacey said, do they think that all Westerners are made of money? Yes. I think most of them do think that.
Oh yes, I agree 100%. It's so frustrating when you, you talk to some and they say, if I scam someone out of their money, the government's going to pay it back for them. Um, I've had conversations, how India is different if you're disabled and the government's only giving you this much of money, but in America they take care of everyone. And I know firsthand of trying to fight the system, and trying to prove that I cannot work. The government here don't do hardly enough, and they don't do enough in India as well. But it's the same thing. It's bad everywhere, and
Yeah.
their perception of Americans and Englanders and Australians is like the governments just take care of people and I can scam away, um,
Right.
and the government will repay them.
Yeah, and they also don't
They have a
understand the
very
cost.
warped perception, is what I'm seeing.
Right. And
Brainwashed,
they
absolutely.
also don't understand like the cost of living here. So like if we have $1,000, all of us here in the US know that that is not going to go that far. Like you can't live a whole month off $1,000 and pay rent and electric bill and all that stuff. But to them,
Yeah,
having $1,000 is like a lot of money. Like you could live for 2 or 3 months there. So I feel like they don't
you're right.
understand that difference in cost of living. That having even a few $1,000s isn't that much. That's only like 1 month. Enough for 1 month. It's not really like you have a big giant savings. But I don't think that they all understand that.
Yeah, $1,000 in New York City. I think it gets me about 2 chili dogs and a
Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah, but
So they have no right to try to take our money.
yeah, but with the rupee being 75 to 1, um, having $1,000 is a lot of money in India.
Oh, of course.
And we
But I
do
agree.
talk to
They're not
other.
looking at the cost of living.
Yeah, exactly. And we do talk to
You
scammers
tell
from
them.
other countries. I don't mean to keep picking on India, but it tends to be predominantly India for what Take and I do, don't you think?
I mean, it's 100% of what I talk to. I know that some of you more experienced scam baiters deal with Nigeria. I mean, I think I've dealt with Jamaica. The PCH people are out of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's basically all Indian call centers. Although lately it's been Philippines as well. Canadian pharmacy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Indian
There's
Indian
lots of scammers
scam
in
call center.
America. They're just not the ones that we usually bait. But that's what I want to expand to is some American ones, which are the ones that are doing this on Facebook and things like that, Because there are a lot of them out there that are scamming people out of money. And that's how Kit Boga got his start. His grandparents were scammed in America from Americans because they were paying them to do work that they weren't doing, you know?
I was not aware of that.
Yep. So he actually started with his grandparents were being scammed by American scammers. I guess I don't know which grandparent it was, but they had dementia and they were paying people to like do the yard and do all this stuff that they didn't need. And they were like not doing it, or they were coming to the house and sitting around and basically taking advantage of the grandparent. And that's kind of how he got started. So there's tons of ones in America, and I'm not saying that India is any worse than here. It's just, percentage wise, it's the same. We probably have the same percentage of scammers that they have. It's just that Take and I end up talking a lot to the ones that are out of
What
India.
I have noticed in calling the Indian call centers is a lot more of them now, at least in the last few days, have been saying they're in Mumbai. And
Oh,
usually they don't give up their location anyway. So I'm always wondering if it's because they're really in Calcutta or Delhi, where most of the
right.
scams take place, or suburb, Sector 5 or whatever. But now they're all saying Mumbai. And I'm just wondering if there's some kind of rivalry there where they're just told to say they're in, Mumbai. But they do sound different, some of them that we talked to lately. The accents are different. So that's where Nigella would be a big help, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know how to test if they're Calcutta because the majority of people in Calcutta speak Bengali. So you can try to test that out, See if they understand Bengali, they're probably in Calcutta, you know?
Tume balo chutia.
Yeah. um,
I can say go ahead, please.
yep, there you go. And Mumbai is like isn't it the financial capital of India?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be Bombay, right? I don't know why they changed the name. I
Yeah,
mean, I
I
used to
don't
watch
get
all
all
those
that.
Bollywood movies, and there's a lot of good things on Netflix right now coming from Mumbai, which, I mean, to me, it's a very sophisticated type of city. I mean, I haven't been there, obviously, so I only know what I see. But I think it is the financial capital.
Domesticated, can you like DM me some of those websites? I want to get on there and chat with people and get them to ask me for gift cards. That would be great. And we'll put that on. Could talk about that some more. Hey, good morning, animals. I'm not sure if I said good morning to you. I'm sorry. It's just hard to chat, read the chat sometimes and talk.
Hey, Dill, yeah, you're absolutely correct. However, there are some people in the virtual world that suck as well.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think if Sven's still here, Sven is Mumbai the like financial like I think it's like the New York of India, right? The New
That's
York City
the
of
way I
India.
always looked at it.
I don't know if he's still here. I'll um I'll ask him later and see what he says, but I think it is.
And then we do have Scammer Jammer coming in soon, right?
Yes, Gamer Jammer will be here in a few minutes. I don't know, maybe about 20 minutes or so. Um,
Good.
yeah, Scammer
I was going to try
Jammer.
to talk to this homeless guy I see outside, but I don't want to. I don't know if he goes on forever. I don't want to interrupt Scammer Jammer time.
Yeah, and I don't want you to lose your good signal right now. It's been a really good um it's been a really good audio morning for
Well, I
you.
would shout down from the window and make him come up.
Oh, I see. So
and then
anyone could
he
just
would be
walk
in
in
my
your
apartment
building?
with me and my two cats. What's that?
Anyone could just walk in your building? There's no like doorman or anything?
No, I'd have to buzz him in.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I trust him.
Like a Seinfeld buzz 'em in? I've never lived in a building where you could buzz people in, but every time people say that, I just picture Seinfeld, because he always buzzed in Elaine and George.
Yeah, exactly like that. It's exactly like Seinfeld here.
Good morning, Steven. Is Car Phone Warehouse still going? I thought that company finished years ago. Never heard of that one, Lacey.
I've heard of that. I don't know a lot about that, but I've heard other people ask about them. That was like a huge scam for a while, right, Lacey?
I never heard of it. Chester sent us a really good news article. I clicked on it, but I didn't get a chance to really look at it. But
Yeah, I can't click from my phone.
It says the Australian Council to ban cats outside unless they are on a lead. I'm assuming a lead's like a leash. Do they mean like a leash? I guess so.
A lead, yeah. You got to go across the pond to learn this shit. Come on.
Yeah. So a council in Australia appears set to effectively ban cats from being outdoors unless they are on a lead. How do you walk a cat on a leash? You have cats.
I've seen
Do you
people
walk
do it,
them?
actually. I've seen people do it in New York here. And if I had to walk my cat on a leash, I'd have to kick my own ass. Like, I would never walk my cat.
Like, would it walk?
I mean,
or what would it do?
What's that?
Like, would it actually walk on the leash?
I've seen people do it. I mean, and I guess it's good because my cats are dying to go outside. I'm afraid that these guys are not smart enough to like walk around New York and then make it home and use the elevator and learn how to use the buzzer and then go up to the, top floor that I'm on. So if they want to be outside, maybe I will try a leash now that we talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think it looks funny,
everything
though.
out on a leash. They probably haven't been outside in a long time, right?
Yeah, Steven's a big cat person, right, Steven? So he's actually got cats in his picture. So he says Modern Paul does it, and so do I. And that's a cat person right there. That's an expert in the feline. So if Steven gives me the okay, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Lisa said you can train cats. I know. I was trying to get Take sent
Not
me
these
this.
cats.
Take sent me this video of these cats that were like basically fist bumping, right? Is that
Yeah, everybody's seen that video. I think you can the guy wakes up and he's kind of like walking and he sticks his fist out and the cat shakes his hand by giving him like the fist bump. Mm-hmm. It's like I tried for hours to get these little guys to do that, and all they want to do is eat.
Well, I don't know. Maybe so. Is it the cats that's the problem or the trainer? That's what I want to know.
It's probably a little of both.
Well, as you know, I have 2 dogs, and dogs are pretty easily trainable. So I don't know what it's like to have a cat and take it out on a leash.
Yeah, everyone said, "Oh, cats will be easy," and I mean, like I'm not home a lot. Well, I am now, but I wasn't for the first 8 years that I had these guys. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm sure, because you gotta clean.
I mean,
up
they're
all
high
the
maintenance.
cat
It's not like
litter.
you can just go to work for 15 hours and they're going to be fine. I mean, you really have to get the right kind of food, and they're fighting with each other and they're ripping up the furniture, and there's a lot of work with these guys.
I'm sorry, Mead. I have no clue what a cat pram is. What's a cat pram? Is that like a kind of cat?
Yeah, I don't know. My neighbor has a cat pram.
I'm sorry, Mead. I don't know what that means. Let me Google it. It's again, I don't know much about cats, so it's my ignorance. But let me see what a
cats
cat
go
pram
crazy.
is.
If anyone's ever tuned into Ishmael's stream, and he does like the voice when he gives like the credit card numbers, he has like the electronic noise where like his voice cuts out. Uh-huh. My cats go run. They wait for it now because they always try to watch his stream at like 11:30. They just hide for hours because of that noise. So if they're fighting, I just make sure Ishmael's on, and then they hear that noise and they go run hiding.
Oh, a cat
so
pram
thank you, Ishmael.
is It's a stroller. We call it a stroller. It's a stroller.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's the actress? Jennifer Garner. Is that an actress?
Yeah. Like from Alias. Is that the word?
Yeah, she's not gonna come on with us either. But I did see a news article with her pushing a cat in a baby stroller.
I mean, I have a dog stroller, so I can't talk. Because I took him to Disney. I mean, I didn't take him to Disney, but I went to Florida. I was going to stop at Disney Springs. I don't know if anyone knows Disney Springs, but it was like, it used to be like Pleasure Island, I think it was called. Um, but anyway, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like got a lot of stores and anyway, it was like July in the summer and I didn't want my dogs to walk on the hot concrete, so we put them in a stroller and pushed them around.
Nice.
And it was a lot. I got a lot of flack for it because they're boys and the stroller's pink, but it was like $10 less, and I don't think that they know that boys are only supposed to be in pink strollers. I don't think they cared, so I got the pink one. Hello. You don't have any
I'm just
comments
taking
about
it all
my
in now, Jamie. That sounds like a great vacation.
Yeah, pushing dogs around at Disney World in a pink stroller.
Absolutely.
Definitely on
Goofy
your
was
bucket
probably
list,
very
right?
jealous.
But yeah, I've never heard that word pram before. We call them strollers over here.
I'll be using that word pram all the time now. I love
Yeah.
it.
I wonder if we're saying
The
it
word of
right.
the day.
Pram, prom. Would it be prom or
Yep.
pram? I don't know.
Pram or prom?
I don't know. Pram, prom. I don't know.
I think prom would be PROM, no?
Yeah, prom. Pram.
Pram.
So we learned a new word. Cool. Thank you, Mary. Isn't pink always the best? I agree too, but I love pink. And I love it when like sexy businessmen wear pink. I think it looks really good.
I've never been a fan of wearing pink myself, but I think when I worked at Hot Topic, we had shirts that said pink is the new black, and every guy in the world was buying a pink shirt that said that.
So Mark says perambulator is the full term. Wow. That's what they call strollers over there? Perambulator.
Yeah, Christine, that was awesome that she put that in there because it rhymes with tram.
Oh,
so
thank you,
pram.
Christine.
It is
pram. Rhymes with tram. Okay. Thanks, Christine. See, we learned something
And
new
DA
from
confirmed.
chat every day.
Right, Mary. Man that wears pink is secure.
Yeah, I agree.
Or maybe some of us people with like fair features and hair, we don't want to wear a light shirt, so it doesn't work. But I'm still secure. I just don't think I look good in pink.
Oh, well, that's understandable. I mean, you don't have to wear pink to show that you're secure, but it does look good on a lot of people.
Right. I would rather. I mean, I'll just go French kiss this homeless guy who keeps looking up in my window. I'm secure.
Yeah, go for it and take pictures for us, and then we will post them on our Discord. For those that would like to join my Discord, I mean it's one way that you can reach Take and I, because Take doesn't have, you don't have your own Discord server, right? I'm sure you don't.
Never.
But I kind of consider
I hate Discord.
Yeah, I know you do. But I do have a Discord server, and I kind of unofficially also say that it's Take's server, so it's a way that you can reach out if you'd like to talk to us. I think Sven posted the link earlier to it. I don't know where Sven went. He probably is on the phone with Scammer or something, but But if anybody would like to talk to us, that's one way to do it. Is there any other way people can reach you, Take, if they want to?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. But I'm friends with everybody anyway, pretty much. But I mean, if I will post the email in the about, I guess, the about part, maybe. I'm not that good on YouTube yet, or a phone number in there. I don't know why anyone wants to talk to me anyway, but if they do, then I'll put lots of different ways.
I think you have your own girl fan club already that want to talk to you.
No, they all have me blocked.
Yeah. Oh, Christine, you don't like it when a guy wears pink? That's funny. Okay. Well,
She's not alone. A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah,
But
I guess so.
I don't discriminate against somebody who wears pink. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Well, my favorite video of yours. I'm sure you know which one it is.
Oh God, it's embarrassing.
Do you know?
That one when I was in the strip club and I was on my hands and knees.
No, I'm talking about scam
No?
baiting
Oh, which video are you talking about?
The scam baiting. Yeah, Mary
Oh,
says you have a Rundy fun fan club. And anyone that doesn't know, Rundy means prostitute in Hindi, right?
I just thought. I mean, I guess so. Like easy girl, I thought. But
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Raz. There's my Discord server if anybody would like to join. There's not a whole lot of excitement there, but if you'd like to join to talk to Taker Eye, that's one way to do it.
I feel like Raz knows every single technical question about computers, Discord, Twitch.
Oh yeah, she's 100%.
Everybody
better
reach
than
out to
us.
Raz with your questions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what video you would have of mine. I mean, but
my favorite.
You've always mentioned the pickup line one.
Yes,
That's the
my
one you always
favorite.
want to show, and I'm like, do not show that to people. I'm hoping it gets buried and nobody looks at it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Take a glass. Video. I am looking for it right now as we speak. Is he just does back-to-back cheesy pickup lines? It's really hilarious. Has anyone remember that one? It was kind of a while ago that you did the cheesy pickup lines.
Yeah, I think I was only calling these idiots for 2 months maybe at the time. I'm surprised I even learned how to make a video on my phone. Who knows what it's going to show, but
well, let me see if I can find it here and play a little bit of it in case anybody
But we should also put a disclaimer that these are not to be tried at home or in a bar.
I mean, you could try them, but
unless you want to slap on the face and a wet head.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely try them, but yeah, you might get slapped. So while I refill my water, let me play a few minutes of this because it is my favorite. This is Take a Glass's video from, I don't know when it's from. Doesn't really ever tell very well. Several months ago.
June.
And it's called Random Questions, Bad
July,
Pickup Line,
August, who knows?
80s Hair, Metal, and Indian Call Center Scammers.
Oh, it's so bad. Embarrass me.
Okay, let me see here. Sorry, I'm getting there. I'm still learning how to be an audio producer.
Thanks, Zeb. Yeah, I might have one or two of those floating around.
Let me see if I can get it with the video. If not, we'll just listen to the audio.
Yeah, the video's not really that good anyway. It was before I used the pictures that Lisa made for me, if it's the one I'm thinking of. All the ones in the last 2-3 months, I have a lot of just pictures that all of the pictures in the videos actually artists known as Lisa made.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize that, but she did make that shark one, which she used a lot, that I love. That was a great one she made.
Oh, she's an artist, she's creative.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so let me play some of this, and I'm gonna go refill my water too while we're listening.
Yep, I'm gonna have a grape.
What are you doing, Gandu? We just started. You're not going to even talk? You just pick up the phone and let me hear all the idiots in the background? The fuck is wrong with you? Have some balls. Talk to me.
What do you want?
Oh, this is a Rundy. Hey, I'm right here. What are your other 2 wishes? Go ahead, please. I'm right here.
Is your mother Wendy? Or
Oh,
your
my God.
sister?
You sound so hot. Did you just come out of the oven? Hey, can you help me with a refund? Sir?
Yes, I can help you. What happened? Just tell me. Yes.
Listen, I ordered a tornado. I have a tornado in my apartment. They said it was going to be calm. It's crazy. My cats, each and everything, are like lost in this tornado. I can't keep coming home after a hard day's work and watching a tornado in my living room.
Thank you for calling Amazon. My name is Cisco. How can I help you?
Cisco, I know you. I've seen your videos. I haven't heard from you since Nam. Right? Cisco, you had that thong song. I know you. Don't hang up. Why? Why are you going to do this to a fan? How are you going to hang up on me? Very hurtful, sir. Oh, my God. Are you a parking ticket? You sound fine. You got fine all over you. What's going on?
What do you want?
I want to talk with you. I think me and you were made for each other. We're like peanut butter and jelly, like lamb and tuna fish. We go together.
I don't think so.
But I'll call you back again and again and again. You can't stay away, right? We're meant to be together. It's fate. It's fate.
So should I block you?
You can't block me. Do you know who I am? I will just call you back. I guarantee it. I dare you to block me. I'm the one who's going to sweep you off your feet today. Me and you are going to be best friends. You're going to want to fuck me all night long after today because I'm going to fuck you guys. What do you mean, who am I? This is Dean Michael Myers. Take a glass of water, bitch. Take a glass of water. I forgot to ask you, do you know CPR? Because you're taking my breath away. Yeah, it's me again. I told you. We're going to be good friends by the end of this day. You might as well just talk to me. One long conversation. Otherwise, I got to call you back again and again and again.
Thanks for calling Amazon. How can I help you?
Are you getting tired yet? You're running through my mind, Grundy. You've been running through my mind for the last 10 minutes. You must be tired.
How may I help you?
Hey, here I am again. What are your other 2 wishes? You're running out. But you got me.
Thank you for calling Amazon. How may I help you?
Are you a bank loan? Because you got my interest. Go ahead, please.
For calling Amazon. How may I help you?
I don't even need Google since meeting you. You're everything I've been searching for. Go ahead, please.
How may I help you?
Hey, babe. I feel like God's missing an angel. Do you want to call him? Should we send you back?
Landing point, how may I help you?
Hey, heard any good jokes lately? You know anything you can help me with? I'm looking for content, buddy.
Landing point, how may I help you?
Yeah, what makes you unique? What do you think you would tell people? Like, what's your one unique talent that nobody else has? Useless or not? Go ahead, please. You're live.
Well, thank you for calling Landing Point. How can I help you today?
Hey, who's the meanest person you know? Who's the meanest person you know?
It's you.
Oh. You haven't seen mean yet.
Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line.
Thank you for calling Landing Point. How can I help you today?
Hey, who's the meanest person you know? Who's the meanest person you know? Answer me.
Do you have a daughter?
Jesus Christ, you're with the daughter jokes. I know you. You're the fucking cliche scammer, right? You don't know anything. You can't talk if it's not on your script. You can only talk mothers and daughters.
No.
Go ahead, please.
Second. Go to your daughter room, remove her pins.
No, I'm not going to be happy until you change your answer back to me. I'm the meanest person you know, you son of a bitch. You fucking idiot. Go ahead, please. We always got to deal with this when I'm on the phone with you. I called you all day yesterday. You need these little breaks to put the goat dick in your mouth. I hear you. I can be patient. Go ahead. Suck the goat off. Oh, shit. You know what? There's people that heard that. Fuck.
Thank you for calling Landing Point. How can I help you today?
Here I go again. I'm here to rock you like a hurricane. Come on, bitch. Kickstart my heart. Give me something good, man. I'm tired of living on a prayer. Talk, bitch. Talk. I'm home sweet home right now, man. I'm like a live wire. Come on, man. You're giving love a bad name, fucker.
Thank you for calling Landing Point. How can I help you today?
Oh, yes. Hi. I was told to call this number. I'm American, and I need to be...
Sound Rule 1 on November 4th, Saturday.
Alright, that is my favorite Take a Glass of Water video. Hold on, I muted Take because I... Okay, Take, you there? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
very
muted
embarrassing.
you.
Thank you.
I muted you because I could hear a little bit of feedback, so... But you know what's funny is that your video went straight into Kenny Rogers, the country music legend.
Yeah, that makes sense because we're very similar. Our personalities are very similar, people have said. Is he still living?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see if I can find out.
Well, we'll have to have
He's
somebody look
gotta
that
be
up and
pretty old.
get his contact information. He needs to call in too.
No, he died in 2020.
He will not be calling in, ladies and gentlemen.
Unfortunately. We wish he was.
I don't know. I'll take a chance and say even if he was living, he would still not call in.
You never know. You shouldn't make assumptions about people. Right?
At wishful thinking, maybe we can say, yeah, maybe he would call in, but we'll see. Yeah, if we get Mike Tyson to call in or Britney Spears, then I'll say, CJ, you're right. I should not assume anything.
Okay. Or Garth Brooks. Hello?
Hello.
Did my suggestion of Garth Brooks just floor you?
I thought you were just kind of reading some names, but yeah, I would love to talk with Garth Brooks.
Well, out of all the celebrities...
And Wenja.
Out of all the celebrities who we have a 0% chance of getting, we probably have a 0.01% chance of getting Garth Brooks because my parents are really good friends with Trisha Yearwood's sister. So I can ask my parents to ask Trisha Yearwood's sister to ask Trisha Yearwood to ask Garth Brooks.
I would personally, though, like to talk with Scammer Jammer more than any of those people.
Yeah,
they should be here any minute, right?
Yeah. I was just messaging them, seeing if they're ready. So we'll give them just a couple more minutes. So I have a video I'm releasing later. And I've never, this guy that I talked to just, was he tried to be charismatic. You could tell that he was trying, but he's, the opposite of charismatic. He just talks like he's got, he's mumbling, and he's trying to, make up stories to make me believe that what he's telling me is true, and he's just, terrible at it. So that's the video that I'll be releasing later today. Hopefully, his name is Alan. So y'all watch out for that. It's only going to be about 10 minutes long. He was a direct TV scammer, so there's only so much I could do to keep him on the phone. But let me
Awesome.
just
I cannot
play.
wait.
I can just play just a tiny clip of that if I can find it quick enough. While we wait to see if Scammer Jammer's ready. Let me just see if I can get.
They're probably in. What are they doing? They're hanging out in the green room, like just.
Yep.
Drinking soda, having baby sandwiches,
they're over
hair
there
and
with
makeup
Steven
type of thing,
Tyler,
right?
just waiting for their turn. Steven Tyler will be our musical guest today. Okay, let me see.
It's our version of Paul Schaefer.
Yeah, let me see if I got this to a good place here.
Are you still with the Direct TV? Using the Direct TV
sir.
till now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, sir, can I ask you a question? Like, you sound really nervous. Am I making you nervous?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. You just sound like you're nervous. I didn't know if I made you nervous.
Okay. Okay. I'm not really. I'm just trying to get the information for you. I'm really want to help you.
Because I feel like a connection with you. Like, I feel like there's chemistry.
Chemistry?
Yeah, I feel like there's chemistry. Don't you feel it?
No, I don't think so. If you do not, but I really appreciate you because you're kind of a person that you taking care of, caretaking. And I kind of a person.
Are you gay?
No.
Oh, well, why don't you feel the chemistry?
I feel that, but I'm sorry to say that I'm in a job right now, but I'm not supposed to share my feelings in the calls. They might audit and they will give me like something freaky things.
Oh, I see. You're worried you'll get in trouble?
Yes.
So that's my call I'm going to post later today.
Nice.
And I like what Mr. I said because I do use that technique a lot because a lot of at least the scammers from India, a lot of them are young. A lot of them are virgins. And in India, they don't like mix a lot the boys and the girls when they're growing up. So they haven't even really spoken to a lot of women. So that's why I use say stuff like that to them because it just gets them flustered. You know?
I cannot wait to see that. It's been a while since you released one of your
I want to get too excited. So we have Iron is here. We're just waiting on Hammer, so it'll just be a couple more minutes. And we're almost ready for Scammer Jammer.
Now, which one's Iron? Iron is the meatball guy, right?
Yeah,
George?
Iron's George, and Hammer is what's her name? Dorothy. Yeah, Dorothy. And while we're waiting for them, they're in the middle. I'm not sure if I think it's finished. We'll ask them, but they just were posting a 9-part bait. It was a real long bait. They split into 9 parts. So let me just show you the beginning of how this bait starts, so y'all have a little bit idea of it, and then we can talk about it with them when they come. So this is the beginning of how their 9-part bait began.
I was just waiting for you to sing to me. So
I'll sing for you. I'll sing for you. I promise I'll sing for you.
yes,
I'll sing
because
for
you
you an
said you
Elvis
had a
Presley
nice
song.
voice, and now I don't
I will
believe
sing
you,
you
and
an
I'm just
Elvis
trying to
Presley.
get my computer fixed. I'm gonna turn my internet off, and then try to turn it back on again.
Turn it on. Okay, I'll sing you an Elvis song. Okay, like you've heard the Why
All right, I'm listening.
say only fools rush in. You know the song? But
Yes, it's one of my favorites.
can't help falling in love.
Hey everyone, welcome to Scammer Jammer. Iron here, and we have another little mini series coming for you. All in all, this particular bait lasted 2 days and was over 6.5 hours of wasting scammer time. We got a lot of information that we were able to report and get things shut down, which was awesome to see and hear. So it was a major win in our books, and you're about to see it all unfold over the next several videos. We like to try to keep it around a half hour or so when it comes to the videos, or having a natural break within the call itself. So that's how we're going to set it up for the mini series. And so you'll see that. So at least it's not too long when it comes to certain videos and things like that. But one of the big things is the first entire half of this call. So the first about 3 hours of this call is all setting up the scam. It's all setting it up. It's filling out the cancellation form. It's logging onto the bank, having it manipulated, and then you can see exactly what they do, the steps that they follow, and how they try to scam people out of money. So the first half of this particular mini series is very important to those who are mostly vulnerable when it comes to picking up the call or opening up an email or opening up a text and thinking that this is a legitimate call from Amazon, when in fact it really is not. It's a scam. So those that are most vulnerable, please share this with them. Let them know what it is, how it's set up, and show them these next several parts, because it does show that very clearly. Then the last half of this, which is our day 2, was just absolute crazy nonsense and a lot of fun there. So you'll see that in the later half of our series. Now here is part 1 of our video with Hammer's character Dorothy making the call and starting and setting up the scam. Enjoy.
Okay, Take, that was a good clip, right?
Absolutely.
I could hear a little bit of feedback on your end. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, because I have to listen to this. I don't hear it on the phone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then there's for those that don't know, that's never streamed, there's like a 30-second delay. So it's really hard sometimes to plan. Like when something's
can people hear us?
to transition. Yeah, they can hear us. Because there's a 30-second delay.
They can't see us, though, right?
I mean, no, our little pictures are up. They can't see your face.
But they can't see me in my apartment right now, snuggled up with my cats, right?
No, we would love to see that.
Yeah, one day. God forbid. God help you all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay,
that was awesome. I love
that.
I love their intros. I just love their chemistry. Everything about them. I'm huge fans. It's almost like I'm backstage waiting to meet Nikki Sixx or something.
Yeah. Well, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we will be on with Iron and Hammer. So y'all just hang out here. Feel free to let everyone know that Iron and Hammer will be here in just a minute.
I cannot wait.
All right, and we are back. We have Scammer Jammer with us, which I
Hell
just
yeah.
realized I should have put their logo up, so I'll put that up while we're talking. But we have Iron and Hammer here.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having us.
Thanks for tuning in.
And thanks so much for being here. This is a big deal. It may not be to you guys, but we look at you as like, you know, the motley crew of scam baiting, the Led Zeppelin of scam baiting. I mean, watching your videos, it's like better than Netflix. Like, it's like an experience to watch your stories, and we'll get into how you come up with ideas and things like that. But it's such an honor to have you here. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's I don't know what to say about that. I'm speechless.
I don't know what to say either, but thanks for having us. I'm glad we could talk, and it's amazing. I'm blushing. What an honor. What a compliment. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I'm sure everyone feels that way. I just kind of a weird way of articulating things, I think. But
no worries.
Yeah, and I know y'all are gonna.
I've never.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I'll let you guys talk. I talk too much and I'm excited, but I've never once heard any. I mean, we all have our favorite people to be entertained with, and we're all going to share awareness, obviously. But you know, it is entertainment, so people are going to pick and choose who they follow and who they like and who they watch. But I've never ever heard anyone say anything bad about you guys. I mean, whether they watch your videos or not, it's like you're known to be like just so supportive of everyone. So it's an honor to have you again.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is first I want to say thanks for having us, and also welcome and hey everybody in the chat who's hanging out. See ya. We're looking at the chat right now, so just want to say hello to everybody. Any questions, if you guys want, we can kind of, I guess, open it up to everybody too. I don't know how you wanted to do that besides, but yeah, we try to promote all of us, because that's what it is, versus these scammers, and that's truly the whole side of it. So yeah, I mean, we're all a team. Every single one of us is a team trying to take down these operations where we can, when we can, and there's no reason to have any sort of inner scam baiting drama or anything like that. It's all about all of us fighting this huge conglomerate operation of scammers, of these different and crazy scripts that they do, and the complexity of the phone call, of getting phone numbers, of getting information, and also of getting, money mules and the entire operation. It's all of us versus them. So yeah, we want to be supportive of every single person, because every single person is doing something to help combat that, whether it's awareness, education, sharing videos, scam baiting themselves, whatever it is. That's exactly what it should be, because the more people who are doing it, the scammers are going to be on edge. They're hanging up more. They're questioning a lot more, and that's a good thing. So they'll hang up on potential victims. They'll not be able to get through to victims because they're on the phone with scam baiters. It's a whole wonderful world to be in.
Absolutely. And I really think that y'all are going to continue to grow. I know that y'all are be ones that will definitely continue to grow and blow up. So I know you're still kind of, I don't know, how long have you guys been doing this?
It's
been a little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think July or August of last year was our first published video.
Did something happen to one of you guys or somebody that would make you want to start, fighting this cause, or is it just something you always had in you? Like,
yes,
did something happen?
For me, I have an interesting story about how we got into this community. I had been recommended by Iron to watch Kit Boga, who anyone who's familiar with scam baiting, he's the OG legend. So Iron had said to me, hey, you got to watch this guy. He's hilarious. You'll really like it. And also he's trying to raise awareness of these scams. At the time, I was working for a company in a position where I was getting in phone calls from victims where that wasn't my role at the company, but all day long, at least 2 or 3 times a day, I was getting these phone calls in the position that I was in. The person on the other end would say, I gave my Google Play card to the representative and my account is still locked. And at first I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, what do you mean representative Google Play? I had no idea. And ironically, Iron had told me to watch Kit Boga, and I put 2 and 2 together. I was talking to victims who had fallen victim to one of these scams. And then the pandemic happened. We had another side venture. Pandemic happened. I thought, well, everyone's at home. I'm talking to these victims every day. I'm extremely angry about it. I talk to victims who lost $10, $20, $30,000 to the scammers. I figure I have a specific set of skills. We can do this. And that's how we started. All thanks to Iron and his
thank you,
idea
Iron.
to watch Kit Boga.
Yeah.
And are you guys in the same vicinity? I know we don't ever want to share the exact location, but I mean, are you in the same state? Like, did you guys hang out before all this?
Yes.
Yep. Gotcha.
Awesome.
Okay. And when you make your videos, I think the older ones, I think I was watching a video where Iron was trying to get a gift card to pay his hospital bills.
That's one
you
of our
guys
favorite videos, and everyone should watch it. It's Nurse Hatchet, one of my
Yes,
favorites.
Nurse Hatchet, right. But you guys were actually together in the same room, if I'm not mistaken, when you were making that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the newer videos, like the epic 36-hour ones that we would watch, the live premieres, you're actually not in the same room, even though
Correct.
you're so good at technology. I didn't know that. I thought you were right next to each other.
Yeah. I'm not very tech savvy, but Iron, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So to credit to Iron, he does so much. He knows a lot more about the technology than I do. So he was able to show me how to do things where I could stay home and safe and still make it appear that we're together. So credit to him. He does a lot of the behind the scenes work and unbelievably doing a great job. So thanks, Iron.
Yeah, thank
Yeah, great job, Iron.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
also, Subway owes you a lot of royalty money because every time he's on, I need a meatball sub.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to go get that meatball sub. You don't want
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, love that.
That's such a
Yeah,
good point.
it was a good time when we're together because the dynamic can be a lot different. But then, with everything happening, and also, when we're trying to get further into it, so we both have our ways of handling different characters by changing our voices and stuff like that. Doing it and then doing it together at the same time, it's impossible to do it actually sitting next to each other because of the way the mics are. So we had to come up with a different idea, which works right now. And then later, hopefully, when we can do this again together, we have something where it'll be together, but it'll also be separate, where the audio won't go into each other.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Now, do you guys, when you guys have like an idea, do you sit down and write it out for a while and talk, or do you just see where it goes? Like, I mean, I've seen, I think a couple months ago, I was watching something and you had the cop on the side of the road singing, maybe, I think, and Dorothy was having a bathroom incident at Walmart. I mean, do you kind of like write in when that stuff's going to happen, or do you kind of like just ad-lib it?
It was on the fly.
Yeah.
It's 97. No, I'd say it's probably about 97% improv and all on the fly. It just depends on where things are going and how the scammers react. But then there's obviously the different ideas and things that we might come, thinking about beforehand. Like we did the Back to the Future call where we pretended we were Marty and Doc. So that kind of had some sort of thought process beforehand, even though it was, hey, let's do Back to the Future. Okay.
Right.
and then do it that way. There's a couple of things though that kind of take a little bit of planning and stuff like that. But there's a couple of things too in the works that we're doing behind the scenes that soon will come out that unfortunately we can't really do at the moment because we need some other things involved. But once those things are taken care of, then we're going to have that playing out too. So some of it's going to be a little bit more planned, I guess, but that's only here and there. But yeah, the vast majority is directly feeding off the scammer and kind of coming up with stuff on the fly.
Yeah, it's very entertaining. It's like better than Netflix. I think I've typed in your chat streams more than once, but I love it. I'm sure everybody else does too.
As Iron said before, I feel the same way. Everyone who is out there that hates scammers, that gets angry, that wants to educate themselves and educate people that they care about in their own lives, we're all on the same side. So
Absolutely.
I value each person that keeps coming back and watching our channel, people that are contributing with ideas. So Iron's right. It's about 97% on the fly. We have a general idea of, hey, this would be funny. Let's see if we can incorporate it into the call. And then on the fly, we incorporate those ideas. So I think that anyone that can contribute that may have an idea of something that they would like to see, we want to get as many people involved as we possibly can, because we're all on the same tide. It's us against the criminals.
Agreed.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think you had a community tab up a few months ago where you had a number of people could call in because you wanted to get something for a radio show even to play, right?
Yeah. Well, Hammer, why don't you tell what happened with that one?
Should I?
I know Tate called in.
We had a number that was activated, which we'll have again. I'm going to work on that. And those we did get some pretty funny recordings. Group think is better than anything that we could come up with. So some of the recordings and messages that people left us are hilarious. We'll be coming out with those soon, and we will have maybe another number in the future where people can call and can contribute some different ideas.
That's great. Nice. And I know Take left a message, didn't you, Take?
Oh, I left about 5 maybe. I mean, I think it was I was hula hooping in Walmart and it was getting thrown out, and I was making a complaint to the Walmart manager that they strip searched me just for trying to have a hula hoop contest.
Oh, nice. That was you? Okay.
That was you? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Stay tuned. They'll be out on the radio.
Yeah, soon. The whole idea behind that is creating these fake radio stations, and it's going to be very similar to Grand Theft Auto, where you get in the car and you can listen to different stations. And
yes,
one of them was Laszlo, where he's talking, and it was a talk radio. So that's one of them. So yeah, we have people who called in. We're waiting. We have a couple of things where we're still working on to try to bring them all together. The only thing is there's so much time in the day and so much to do too that, again, as Hammer alluded before, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes when we're trying to do all this, that it might seem like it's a snail crawl, but it truly is so much work. And for people who may not know all the things behind it, some of these projects can take quite a bit of time and trying to bring it all together. So things like these fake radio stations and these recordings, we have multiple people recording, so it sounds different than us. So it's not one of these things where it's like, oh yes, hello, you want to come to Circuit City or something like that.
Yeah.
Do these different voices where it's just us. But yeah, we have that we're waiting on from people, and we have all these other things that we're bringing together, and then just doing the post-production on it, bringing it together, and all that. There's quite a bit. So I know we've been talking about these radio stations for a while, and they're trust me, they're almost to the point where they can get much more attention than what it's been.
Awesome. And now, do you both work during the day? I think I saw something where Hammer said because of COVID he was staying more home. Because I have an autoimmune disease myself, so I know with COVID it's a little bit more dangerous for people that have maybe different ailments. But do you work from home, or do you guys have like other priorities during the day, which kind of takes you away from making these monstrous epic videos?
Yes, I was working from home, and now I am creating my own business. So,
Nice.
I was fortunate enough for the company that I was working for, did, in my opinion, a great job of rearranging people from an office setting to home. So that was the beginning of the pandemic, and that's where um, working and trying to then stop working and putting every waking minute into getting the channel built. And Iron is a creative genius, so he's much more creative than I am when it comes to a lot of things. I have a specific set of skills where in the early days I could maybe talk to the scammers, which also in the future, what is going to be happening with me is I am going to kind of be laying off the gas per se, because I've really been giving the scammers a much more difficult time. I guess my anger built up over talking to them where I'm not even really getting through the scam. I'm just hammering them, which I'm going to be backing off from soon, to where we can get through the scams and get some good content after they maybe manipulate the bank for a refund scam or something, where we get them on the hook and then really provide some good content. But yes, to go back to what your original question was, I was working from home. Now I'm building my own business, so I'm able to put more effort towards the channel too, which is good.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
For me, I work from home too, and so there's different projects going on, and yeah, it's just a lot. So it's like one of these things, especially too, where it's like, oh, I don't know how to do that yet. So you got to learn, you got to watch some videos on learning how to do it, and come up with the idea and tailor it to yours, and all this like customization to it on top of some of the things too. So it's like all of these things just come together, and for a little while there on the creative side, it was like, oh my God, there's like no light to the end of the tunnel, and now there is, which is great. So I could see things moving along, which is even better.
Awesome. And you brought up a good point when you were saying that you're going to lay off because you find yourself maybe raging a little bit at these people, and you just want to get through this because you're so angry. I mean, I find myself, I'm already there, like, and I'm just very new at this, and that's why my calls are maybe 30 seconds and yours can go on. But I think we're all in it together, like you said, in that we're all wasting their time and we're calling. I mean, sometimes I might have to call 6 hours a day to get a 35-minute video out there. But I find myself on certain days where I'm like, I've spent so much time just talking to the scum of the earth that are willing to rob their the last dollar of a struggling old lady. I mean, do you find yourself just ever needing like a break from talking to criminals so much?
Yes.
Or am I the only one?
That's why what you'll see from me is about a month or two ago. Time just flies by. I was kind of Iron was taking a lot more of the calls, where I was kind of just taking a back seat, because I did get I don't want to say burnout, but I guess I couldn't contain my anger, where I would just it was just bubbling through. So but I'm well aware of it. There was a commenter the other day that was just like, yeah, they're going too hard, and they're right. I was aware of it. So I'm going to be laying off the gas, and I think once you're aware of something, you can try to reflect and improve, which will happen. So we're going to have a lot coming out soon. But yeah, the struggle's real.
Well, there's no rules to scam baiting, so even if you do give it to them hard, there's nothing wrong with that, and you'll have lots of long baits, so it's not like you do it every time. Like very long baits. And what's your longest bait ever that the two of you've had?
The one we had was probably just over 10 hours, and I mean, it was well over that, because the amount of times that they called between the days, they probably called like 100 or 200 times between that. I lost count, but they called quite a bit. So them calling you back and continuing to call back over and over and over again, that's wasting their time even when we're not doing anything. So even though the timer might have said about 10 to 11 hours, it was well over that, which is fantastic.
Was that the one where you were going back and forth to Walmart and like that I was kind of talking about earlier, where I think the cop had pulled you over and the cop wanted to talk to them?
Yep.
Yeah, or the scammer wanted to talk to the cop or something. Yeah. Yeah, that was an awesome
Yeah,
epic,
that was a great
like a
bait.
9 or 10-part series, right?
That's right.
I think that one I think was even longer because what we try to do is keep the videos around a half-hour mark or so.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I get
Especially
that.
when they're these longer ones and they have so much going on.
Mhm.
So we try to keep it because like you see other like you might see like Pierogi or Kipoga where they'll have a 7-hour call condensed down into 30, 40 minutes.
Right.
But they leave out so much stuff and just put the highlights in. We
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
have majority of the call in, whether it's a slower part or a crazy part or them trying to manipulate, whatever it might be. We try to put anything that's a little bit more entertaining in, and then that way we keep it around the half-hour mark. So if we have like a 5-hour bait, it's going to be a multi-part series, even though some things might get cut out, and then like dead space and all that stuff. Because there's times too where you're sitting on there and it takes 5 minutes just to get the IDs for these remote softwares.
Right. Oh, I know. I get that. I've been trying to explain to people, like, why are your calls so long? And it's like, it takes them like an hour even to get on my computer sometimes,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's so fun when they're struggling and trying to get things. And it's
Yeah.
like they're taking their own time at this point. So we can just sit back and watch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love that y'all two are friends in real life, and I think you're the only two male baiters, right, that bait together?
Well, the
No,
guys.
I never thought of that. You might be right.
Yeah, I never thought of that either.
I mean, I just think it makes for a great dynamic. Most baiters that stream are alone, I can't think of anyone that regularly streams with somebody like every time. So I think it's an awesome dynamic and makes y'all really unique, and I think that's one reason that you guys will continue to grow.
I never thought of that. And you're right, because there has been some brainstorming. And again, credit where credit's due. Iron, the visual that you see, everything that the way the channel is structured right now, the new idea was to have the time in India displayed, which is a great idea. All of those the visual aspect of the channel, the design, it's all Iron. So I never realized that. Yeah, because there's two of us. He brings a certain skill set to the channel that is awesome. Where he's designing everything that's visual, it's all him. And then for me, we're bouncing ideas off of each other and saying, well, hey, you know what? If the cop pulls us over, or maybe Granny has a hard time in the store. I have different sound effects and things. Those are all both of our ideas. And because there's two of us, you're right, we can provide more unique content than I think an individual scam baiter can do. I never realized that. Good point.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I hope that y'all never stop that, because I do think it works really well for both of you, and it makes you different, So never break up.
Sure. Plus, the other advantage is we can play at least 2 or 3 different people, because
yeah, exactly.
Granny G Payne or Dorothy can have her grandson George or Ruprecht, or the daughter Diarrhea, and there's a lot of possibilities. So I'm glad you brought that up, because in the future we'll have to brainstorm and see if we can come up with some even better ideas, better content, which we're always doing.
Yeah, because between the two of you, like, I know, Iron, how many different voices do you do? I know at least 2 or 3, right?
I on a regular, yeah, probably 2 or 3, and then I can do different inflections and stuff. So I could do like a Southern accent, or different things too. So it's just a matter of honing in on a particular character, and seeing what other people think is good and what they like, so we can kind of hone in on those two. So it's always an evolutionary process when it comes to characters and character development, because where we started with, like, as you said earlier, you know, that video with Nurse Hatchet was the birth of George Peaker. That was also a video.
Okay.
So since then, the character has developed into the character today. And same thing with Dorothy. You know, it started off as an auto-tuned out of the phone or microphone where it sounded broken. And it's funny because Hammer's like, hey, this sounds weird to me. And I said, yeah, it sounds really weird. But as I was listening through it throughout the call, I'm like, you know what? It actually works because it seems like it's a broken phone. And so we ran with it. And that's how Dorothy became Dorothy. And then, you know, the evolution of her, and then just bringing in new people or new ideas, like how he's saying with Diarrhea, or, you know, somebody else entirely. It's just going to be who might be there and who sticks, and, you know, who's well received and who we can actually develop too. So, like, these characters take on their own personality and their own backstory and forward progressing story. So even though it's different calls, you'll see different allusions from previous calls coming out in future calls. So it's a cool dynamic, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What I love is, like, it's so funny, entertaining, and at the same time, it's you're making them like, how could the world not think that the people on the other side of the phone are not idiots? I mean, it's like you're making so much fun of them because you're going over the top with a bathroom explosion in the middle of Walmart, or complaining to the police. And I mean, it's just so funny, and it's entertaining, but at the same time, I think it really shows their greed, how they would put up with that for so long. And then the other avenue is, it's like awareness. Like, whoever's watching it or tuning in can learn that there's people in this world that will put up with somebody who's got a diarrhea accident, and who's on the side of the road with a cop car, getting a ticket, and they still want their money or their gift card numbers. I mean, it's like a hat trick. It's like it's the epitome of what awareness should be. I think it makes it very entertaining for the common folk that doesn't maybe know about scam baiting, to learn about that there's evil people in the world that'll scam you out of your money.
Yeah,
It's
I totally
horrible,
agree.
but you're right. Especially on the 10-hour phone call, there was a couple different scammers on that call, but it was amazing to me that you're right. First, Dorothy, I think the scammer had us go to 2 different stores, and Dorothy had diarrhea in both of those stores, and then got pulled over by the police twice. And on the first one, was just talking to the officer, but on the second pullover, the detective actually talked to the scammer. The scammer talked to the police and was still trying to get gift cards. And then when the gift cards were confiscated and at the police station, the scammer wanted Dorothy to go to the police station to get the gift cards. And just the fact that they ignored all of the blatant warning signs that it wasn't real, they're still trying to get those gift cards, which is horrible. It's distressing, but also ridiculous, and shows, yes, greedy idiots is what they are, and criminals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, just look at the mini series that we just had too. You know, where it originally started with Dorothy filling out the form, and then I took over the call, where that's where they manipulated the bank, and they wanted me to go grab money out of the bank and then go send it to a mule. But then I stepped back, and Dorothy took over, trying to be as helpful as Dorothy could be. And, it was 3.5 hours or so of pure craziness and nothingness, where nothing was getting done, even though they think that. And, he's like, oh, I got this bloody money, and my hand's bleeding, and all, like,
yes.
It doesn't matter. Don't just put the money in the thing, but no blood on the outside of the thing. And it's like, so you are actually listening to this. Like, most of the time, some people have commented, and they're like, they're not even listening. You're right. They're probably not listening for certain things and certain nuances and stuff. But when it comes to the overall, yeah, they're listening, and they just don't care. They want the money, and
Right.
it's so disgusting.
Yeah, that's
In
so
fact,
true.
they always say that they're over smart, but I would say the scammers were over listening because they were so intent on trying to manipulate who they thought were elderly victims into giving them money that they completely ignored the fact that a Bengal tiger bit Dorothy in the hand and was bleeding all over the Google
I
card.
forgot about that
And
part.
then she threw the cards out the door and forgot all about that. Ridiculous, but they were over listening is what was happening.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, oh, we got a live one on the phone.
yeah. Yeah, and see, that's what I mean. That's why I think y'all are so different, is because literally you can pull up, like, I don't do any voices. I'm terrible at accents. I can't do anything different with my voice. I don't have a voice changer. So I'm only limited to one character, unless I try to call someone and bring them in. And y'all have 6, 7, 8 characters at your disposal at any given moment. So it makes for some great situations, I think.
Well, Iron's Iron's character, George Peaker, that voice with just the accent, I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't do anything like that. I do Dorothy, but that's about it. And I can get real deep into the Southern draw if I need to, but I should try that a little bit more because I can really get into that. But George Peaker's voice and accent, amazing. And the scammers really respond to it. Once they hear him, they just think they have someone on the hook, and he really gets away with it. I can't do that, so kudos to him.
He can sound more like a New Yorker than I do.
Yeah, and I also love Susie Durkins too when you do Susie Durkins.
Yeah.
Well, hello there, dear.
Yeah. Susie Durkins and Dorothy would make great friends.
Oh yeah,
Next time, that's what it'll be.
Well, I mean, we could probably give away a little thing that we're working on for the Christmas holiday once we do a live.
Do.
We want to have a Santa inclusion, and so maybe we could do it with Susie and Dorothy as the 2 main characters in that call, and go from there, because that could be some fun stuff.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds awesome. So y'all just recent, or I don't know how recent it is, but it seems like recently you started streaming on Twitch as well.
Yeah, that was about maybe about 2 months ago, I think we started.
And do you
you
have
find
a
that's a better
preference?
platform than
Yeah.
YouTube?
That's what I was wondering.
I would say both platforms have their unique perspectives, and I like both sides. I mean, YouTube is great for certain things like discoverability. The community that we've grown on our channel is wonderful. So seeing everybody when it comes to going live and premieres and hanging out in the chat and responding with people is really awesome. And then going to Twitch, it's a unique beast in itself too, because there's a lot of videos of Twitch streamers or people who help streamers that I watch, and some of the things that they complain about on both ends, I haven't come across yet. So I don't know if it's just the community that we built through YouTube and then switched over to including Twitch as well, or if it's just the community in general. But either way, some of the things that you see about Twitch or about YouTube, they're there, but they're not so prevalent when it comes down to it. So I think both platforms are really good, and it just helps hit different people and create more awareness when it comes to the different platforms that we're on and the ability to reach different people as well too. Because Twitch, I would say, and I don't know if this is completely correct, so don't quote me on this, but when it comes to it, I think the majority of people are more younger, and the younger generation is also falling victim to different scams too. So having these things where people can come and hang out and see these scams, then they're going to be able to to know and have the awareness and education as well too.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of trying to get on different platforms to be able to share the content with those who could be potentially vulnerable, so they know what's going on, they understand what's going on, and then if they find themselves in a similar situation like an Amazon phone scam or whatever it is, then they'll be able to realize it's a scam, and they can either say, hey, you know what, we're going to screw with them for a little bit, or we're just going to hang up the phone, and that's that.
Right.
Yeah, I've just noticed a lot of the scambaiters now all have streaming on Twitch as well. So I was just always wondering why do both? But I think you answered the question.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, I have no experience with technology. I mean, I didn't even watch anything on YouTube until about 2 years ago. So, you know, now everything's on YouTube. But so to me, it was a horse of a different color, over on Twitch. But there's a different set of viewers on each one, and I think the more exposure that you can get, the better, because you're going to have some people who are on YouTube and some people who are on Twitch and some people on both. So that's how I feel about it. And it's been a great experience on both of them.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason why, though, we started streaming on Twitch was because there were fellow scambaiters that said, hey, come on over to Twitch too. And, you know, you got a really good style. Like, and so I'm like, you know what, let's try it. So we've gone over, been well received over there. I mean, like I said, the community has been great. The team of people that we work with, and I say that, that we, you know, everybody hears it on the team. So the team that we work with is really awesome and really supportive in many different ways, which is great. Because again, yeah, it's about us trying to mess with scammers, and it's against them. So
Are there people out there that only do Twitch and don't do YouTube as far as like viewers?
I would say probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have both platforms where you'll have people on YouTube that say, oh, I don't like Twitch, or I don't know how to use Twitch, or Twitch has problems, which unfortunately sometimes while streaming and watching those streams, they can, because some of their encoding is not the best. So unfortunately that does happen, but you can always change resolutions when it comes down to streaming. And then it's the same thing on the other side, where Twitch, some Twitch people will say, oh, well, I don't want to go over to YouTube because of whatever reason. But you know, if that's them, that's cool. Fine.
Right.
You can do either or. But if they really like your content, then they're gonna follow you as a creator, or as a person, or team on whatever platform it is, because you are putting out content that they enjoy, that can be speaking to them. I mean, it whatever content it might be. So you'll get that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I posted your Twitch link, so if anyone has not followed them on Twitch, please make sure you do that. And like I said yesterday, the best way, if you can support them financially, that would be awesome. And if you can't, the best way is to subscribe to their channel and watch one video all the way through and like and comment. And that's what I like to tell people to do for the algorithm.
Awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And not only that, the other thing too we just ask is, if you know somebody who could be potentially vulnerable, you know, whether they click links on Facebook thinking it's one thing, and really it's just trying to get information, or you know, taking the phone call when they probably shouldn't. Anybody who's potentially a potentially vulnerable person who could fall victim to that, we just say, hey, share the video with them, something that you think might speak to them, or whether it's us or another baiter, or whatever it might be, article, something like that, as long as they can see and realize, hey, yeah, these scams happen, and it's just to help protect them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have any particular video that you like want to recommend the most? Like, if I was going to recommend one of your videos, is there any particular one?
I would say it depends on what you're trying to protect them from, because there are so many scams. I mean, you could say something like, "Hey, check this out. This Amazon scam call that these guys did." It kind of shows because we like to leave the beginning part in. So maybe the voicemail that they'll leave or the beginning of the phone call. So it's like, "Hi, this is whoever you called Amazon. How can I help you?" And then we kind of get into it. So at least at that point, then anybody who is watching that would say, "Oh, this is the setup for the scam," and then they'll be questioning that. So it really is
Right.
going to come down to what you think would be good for them. I mean, if you want to show them the particular scam on how they do certain things, the mini series that we just did, the first couple of parts really show that. So the first part shows them logging onto the computer and wanting to log on, what they say to try to get you hooked. That was all on there, plus the Google form that they try to fill out to get more information from you, so they can use that in either to sell or for future, whatever it might be. And then the next couple of parts show them relogging onto the other computer where they go onto the bank and manipulate that. And so it all depends, though, how you think that potential person could be victimized, and try to help them educate one video or one way at a time.
Yeah, awesome.
CJ, you had mentioned earlier that you had some calls that you would call scammers for 6 hours. I too make phone calls all day when we're not live streaming, which we've switched over more to doing lives. But I was making calls. I was editing some videos the other day where I have a really good Social Security scam where the call is only about maybe 5 or 10 minutes at most, but the scammer goes through the whole scam where and I play Dorothy. Dorothy really doesn't say much, so you can hear the scammer say, your suspect, your social security number will be suspended, you'll be arrested.
Right.
And the only thing she does on the call is call out the ridiculousness of it, where first they said she's going to be arrested, but then they said it's identity theft. So that's the only thing she says during the call. That but the rest of the scammer gets the whole scam out. So I might make a video for that. And then ironically, the very next one was an Amazon refund scam that didn't go through the scam, but they went through the opening. So I jotted those down because those are two very good opportunities to put out new videos where it's not scam baiting, it's just an awareness video. It says, hey, here's how the Amazon refund starts, here's how the IRS, SSA scammers sound like, and maybe I can quickly get those put out so that we can have new videos to show to people and say, hey, this is what happens. Fortunately, I haven't really heard the IRS or the Social Security scam lately. I know scammers, a lot of those people got arrested and got sentenced to 20 years in prison. One of the leaders of that scam. So I haven't, thank goodness, haven't heard the IRS scam recently.
That's good.
It switched back over to Amazon. But I can quickly edit those together, get them out so that if anybody can show everybody, hey, this is how this works. That's a great idea, which I will get out soon. So
yeah, that sounds
hopefully maybe
perfect.
next week or stay tuned.
Yeah,
And
that
we
would be
also have
great.
a video coming out this week that is what happens when you click on one of those text links. So it was a PayPal imposter link. So we have that video coming out actually also later this week. I think
Awesome.
It's Thursday. So
Yeah, that sounds
we're
great.
going to put some educational videos out there too, besides just the entertainment or the edutainment, I guess you could say, that we normally do with baits. So yeah, we're going to try to do what happens when you click certain links to show you where it goes and what they're looking for. But yeah, the first one of that we have coming out, I think it's on Thursday. And again, that's where you click at PayPal link and Hammer's putting in fake information and it's still going through, and it's pretty interesting to see. So
Yeah, that
don't
does sound
ever click those
interesting.
links. Leave it to us.
Yes. Yeah, please never click those links. And even me, well, I haven't gotten a lot to like my text now or anything, but my regular ones, like to my regular number, I'm too scared to click those. So I'm be really interested to see what happens with those.
It's really interesting. I read a really good article. Behind the scenes, I kind of try to learn. I'm a pretty big dork. I love math and science. Well, I don't like math so much, but I know that math supports science. So I try to learn everything I can. But I read a really good article about how in depth some of those scam links work, and I couldn't believe it because it turns out that some of the scam links could differentiate whether you were opening the link on a computer or a specific type of phone. And if you opened the link on a computer, it would direct you to just a general website. But if the way that apparently the scammers were programming some of these websites was that if it detected a certain type of phone or a platform, it would direct you to a phishing link that would steal all your contact information, implant malware on your phone. And it was really interesting to me of how complicated the actual link was. It knew whether you were opening it on a computer or a phone, what type of phone, and only a specific type of vulnerable phone was going to these phishing links that was implanting malware on the actual phones that was stealing login information. And I thought, who would think of this from just a simple text? It's very involved, very in depth. The criminals, unfortunately, as stupid as they sound on the phone, those are just the floor scammer people. There's some, unfortunately, very crafty people behind the scenes that are.
Yeah, they need to put all that work into finding a job. I mean, it's ridiculous that so much goes into it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I'm glad
crazy.
you mentioned that, CJ, because one of my peeves in the pet peeves in the scam baiting world is I hear other scam baiters say that this is how the scammer earns their money, or they refer to it as job. I've read some articles where the articles in big name articles from media outlets say that this is how these jobs work, and they're not jobs. They're not earning money. I don't call it work. They're criminals. They're stealing. They're not earning. So I really want to actually reach out to a couple other scam baiters that are still saying that they're earning too much money or calling them work. And I want to say, hey, can you start referring these people as criminals, as thieves, and stealing instead of jobs, earning, and and such like that. I'm glad you mentioned that because it's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, and Take was just actually saying, and it's so true, that it's not that they can't find other jobs there. It's just that the other jobs they find are more work with less money,
Oh, for sure.
And Take was just saying before you guys came on, like, what if these call centers didn't exist? Then what would they do to survive? Well, they would find regular, other jobs if these weren't there.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's tolerated. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you're
tolerated
exactly
there, and with payoffs and corruption, this can exist there, and it drives me crazy. And you're right, it's not a job. And I catch myself all the time saying, "You need another job," and then I'll say, "Oh, I mean a job."
Yeah.
They're criminals, and it's just like it's no different than in New York, where the guy down the street will mug you if you walk by him late at night. I mean, it's no different. They're preying on the vulnerable, the weak, the elderly, the disabled. But now, the more that I look into things, and you just talked about it, young people are getting scammed just as easily now with links and with Google, and thinking that they're calling an airline or legit Amazon Prime or AT&T. It's sickening.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be a lot more awareness, and I think that Social Security now has something on their website, which Raz just posted. I've been on the phone with them a few times for other reasons recently, and I always bring this up. But it's like if somebody gets a call and they haven't been to that website, they still fall for it being a Social Security administrator calling them. Like, I feel like there needs to be more. Like, it's a serious thing. When you're talking about billions of dollars getting scammed from people, there needs to be some kind of commercial out there playing all the time. It's a serious thing.
CJ, it's amazing that you said that because I've been thinking that for the past couple years because um the pop-up the fake Microsoft pop-ups have been going on for at least 15 years. That's nothing new, but and the amount of scams that are going on the past couple of years has increased. But I often thought like why isn't there commercials on every channel that say, does the social, are you getting a call from the Social Security Administration? It's not real. And I did see at our local post office when I went to mail something, they have a very small little piece of paper that says beware of Social Security scams. But if unless you're bored and reading it, you don't see it. It's not on television. And even when you go into the stores, I did notice a little sign in some of the stores that say, you know, no company will ask for gift cards as payment, but they're very small. And you're right. There's a lot to unpack here, first of all. But I think there should be a commercial on or a public service announcement saying, hey, this is scam's been going on. And I've seen local news report once in a while if someone actually calls the news channel and says that they got scammed, but it should be on the nightly news and commercials like, you know, have you or a loved one been getting phone calls? I agree with you. I don't know why they're not doing that, to be honest with you.
I agree. I guess we need to find someone that will pay for that.
The other thing, too, that they need to do is they need to not allow people, if they, you know, like if somebody's drunk at the bar, they will stop them. They will cut them off. And they say, you need to leave or you need to sober up or something. They have the right to stop them from continuing drinking. Why?
CJ was just telling me she got cut off the other night.
No. He's
well, why
joking.
can't these retail stores, if they feel, they got to be trained, but if they feel that somebody is being victimized currently on the phone by looking at for certain signals, why can't they just have the right and say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot sell you these gift cards? And
yeah, that's so true.
Try to help them say no, because people from retail stores, they just say, well, if they continue to press on, I mean, we have to sell it to them. You don't have to sell it to them. There's the right to refuse. And I don't know why some places will not take that into an account, especially when they think that somebody's actually being scammed. And there are tall tale signs. You know, the biggest thing right now is most of the scammers that we talk to, they want $400-$500 gift cards. $2,000 is a very common number right now for scams and gift cards. So why can't they have people trained on a retail basis and say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot sell you these gift cards because we feel that you are being scammed. Are you on the phone with somebody? Ask probing questions, things like that. Why can't they then just refuse and say, I'm sorry, we can't do it? I know the scammer will have them go to another store, but if another store does the same exact thing, then they can't get those gift cards.
Right. It's so true.
Another issue is the service providers. So again, behind the scenes, I'm a huge dork. I try to learn everything that I can about everything. There are a lot of very complex rules when it comes to phone numbers. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes where there are laws and rules in place that, if followed, would not allow people from overseas to have access to North American phone numbers. But because of VoIP protocol, it's kind of a murky gray area. However, I was much earlier on, I was calling a lot of service providers saying, hey, why does this person in India have a phone number that when they call the United States says Tacoma, Washington? And behind the scenes, as far as I'm aware, and I'm not an attorney, but there was a lot of laws that were preventing these service providers from issuing these phone numbers to these known call centers. So I started calling the service providers saying, hey, well, a couple of them, and I'll have to find the recordings because I probably should publish those too. The service provider, one of them that I was talking to, the only way you could get a hold of someone there was if you dial the number that they claimed was for law enforcement. And when they answered the phone in this particular division, they answered saying 911, what is your emergency? How can I help you? And I was just blown away when I heard this. I thought I really had called the police. And I knew that it wasn't. I knew that it's just a service provider. And I thought, well, I said, well, wait a minute. Have I called 911 emergency? Is the police going to come to my house? And they say, no, this is a line for exigent circumstances for law enforcement. I said, but you answered 911. How can I help you? And I was just taken aback. So then I said, well, this phone number is a known call center that I've reported for the past week and is still active. And they gave me a lot of technical information that I already knew, that they're a wholesaler, that it's the VoIP service provider I need to get a hold of, that they can't tell me who it is. But I was just shocked at the in-depth. So what I'm alluding to is that service providers can kind of do a better job of shutting down these scam call centers. But once I got someone in this service provider higher up on the line, they said, hey, look, people in the armed forces that are in the ammunition industry sometimes sell, ammunition to people that you may not think should have ammunition. It's all about the money. So they made a very good point that, hey, they know that they're giving these phone numbers to scam call centers. And if there's enough complaints, maybe they'll shut them down. But I think that a lot more needs to be done in the whole service industry. The service providers need to do a much better job of immediately, because they know that they're giving numbers to scam call centers. They know it.
Yeah,
there's still so many people out there that are just not aware. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that you said, though, that there was a huge arrest and they actually got 20 years. I heard that somebody from the IRS got busted maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it kind of slowed things down, I think. But it was still very prevalent over the summer because they always pop back up, and like their greed is going to bring them down. I mean, as soon as they get arrested, I mean, somebody else is doing it. But do you know anything about that? Like, is it seriously sticking? I mean, it sounds like you might have followed it a little bit more closely than me.
I read a news article, and it was very interesting. It actually just incorporated into the scam bait. What I was doing was, nobody uses, well, a lot of people don't use Microsoft Edge, especially if the scammers want you to open Google Chrome. So I thought, well, what I'll do on my computer is have a bunch of links that I can open in Microsoft Edge. When the scammer gets on the computer, if the jig is up, I can open Microsoft Edge and have a bunch of articles that they can read because they're connected to the computer about scammers being arrested. One of them the articles that I was able to find was very interesting, that said IRS scam leader gets 20 years. But what happened was he was arrested. He was somehow arrested, but was found in Singapore. So apparently
Yes, I read that. That's exactly. I know what you're talking about.
But unfortunately, because they're in a foreign country,
right?
And I'm no expert on global economics, but I do know from previous.
Oh, CJ is.
No.
Oh, CJ, you know all about the difference of the value of an American dollar.
No, I know nothing. He just likes to embarrass me on my lack of knowledge.
I rely on her big brain for almost everything.
Well, for me, I know very basics, but a previous job I had taught us about the term. The term is called anti-dumping. And when I heard the term anti-dumping, I thought, what, you're not allowed to go in the, somewhere and just dump your garbage? But what anti-dumping really is countries will create a product and be subsidized by their own economy to try to sell in a foreign country for less than what the product cost. That's what dumping, quote, is what it's called, And what that means is, economies are different all over the world. So the American dollar or the European currency may be worth more in a foreign country. So that's why the scammers are targeting wealthier countries, the United States, Europe, Australia. They're targeting us because our dollar is worth money. So,
right.
In the foreign country, because of that, because the law enforcement there may be lax or may say, well, who cares if you're stealing money from the United States? Or there's so many people there and so many, scam call centers that pop up, they can't even bust them all. So there's a recipe for disaster over there of why these scammers are scamming. Other people don't know. It's not only the United States, it's Europe, Australia,
Absolutely.
and yeah. So they're just trying to get those foreign dollars into their country. But apparently they do arrest people. I don't know what happens to them though. Like, what happens to just an average call center worker that gets raided and arrested? Do they even, what is it, a slap on the wrist and here, go scam some more people?
I always say that. I feel like they're in there, and the few of the scammers that have had kind of heart to hearts with me that don't really like what they're doing, and I have been finding more and more people that are, I think, a little bit more fearful than when I first started. Maybe I've just talked to more people now, but in the beginning, everyone I talked to was like, "Yeah, so what? Come get me." Now it's like the people hate what they're doing. A few of the people that I've talked to, I'm talking about, they hate what they're doing, and they do fear it happening to them. And there was one guy I was talking to, he's a Norton scammer, and he says, I deserve everything bad that's going to come my way. I'm doing this. I know it's wrong, but I can't stop. I need the money. I need to feed my family. I don't know what else to do. Now, obviously, I go back and forth with him about there's something else he can do and blah, blah, blah. I'm not there, so he thinks I'm judging him. Maybe he's right a little bit. I still don't think that we're ever put in a situation, no matter how bad, where hurting somebody is justified. That's just the way I feel. But I do feel like their greed will catch up with them. They will get arrested eventually. It's only a matter of time. But I'm with you in that I'm always concerned on how much time. Like, is it a day? Is it you pay somebody $100 and you're free again and you're out scamming? I don't know. It boggles my mind.
Well, the other thing is, unfortunately, the position at my day job that I was in, for a while, I was talking to a lot of people from India. And although they hate the scammers, most people from India hate the scammers and they're at least looked down upon. It's more of a way of life where, although it's not encouraged and sometimes it's frowned upon, and if people in India are pressured from other foreign governments such as Europe and the United States, they will make arrests. But it's nothing like, for example, here in the United States, we have a lot of three-letter agencies that if you're victimizing people, eventually you're going to get caught and you're going to be prosecuted. But they don't have the law enforcement structure there or the motivation, because again, they are getting foreign currency, unfortunately. But what's ironic with the scammers, every single time, again, I have a very specific set of skills. When I talk to those scammers who say, I don't know what else to do, I'm doing this because I have to feed my family, I immediately would say, well, I'm in the United States. Look, I'm never going to meet you. You're in a foreign country. What area are you in? You don't have to tell me exactly where you are, but just what area are you in? And I will see if I can help you find something different to do. You must have, some kind of other avenue that you could, maybe working at a market or a restaurant. And as soon as I call them out for trying to help them find some actual real employment, they immediately hang up because they know that there are other things that they could do. They could try to get other employment. But the problem is, again, being a thief in a foreign country, it can be lucrative. And I tell everyone, look, every human being wants everything as quick and easy as possible. Nobody says, well, I want to do this the most difficult way as possible and really, put my nose to the grindstone and make it difficult. Human nature is to have everything as easy and quick as possible. I get it. So being a scammer, if you can ignore that voice in your head that says you're doing something wrong, it can be lucrative for them, unfortunately. And that's the real reason why they're not doing something more difficult, maybe getting paid less money to have an honest living, because it's just easier for them to go sit and yell at someone on the phone in the middle of the night and steal money from them, unfortunately.
Right. It's not backbreaking work. It's not that there's no jobs. It's just there's no easy jobs.
Right. And unfortunately, there is a massive unemployment problem in India. Again, I like to try to learn everything that I possibly can. There is an employment problem. Every country has problems. But you're right. What is the line on what you're willing to do to not survive? They can survive without sitting on a phone and stealing money from people. You can't tell me that their only option is to victimize people in a foreign country. There's got to be something else they can do.
Well, they have the same things there that we have. They have airports and restaurants and grocery stores and, all those things that we have here. You know how many employees airports need. They have lots of airports, hotels, all that kind of stuff that, we would.
That's right. About 15 years ago, a company that I worked for got purchased by people from India. And two of my bosses went to India for 2 weeks to meet the people who were purchasing the company. And when they came back, they told us all about it. And yeah, we have maybe a little bit better of an economy here in the United States or Europe, but yeah, most countries are on their way up. And you're right. There's got to be other options. But again, those foreign dollars, and it's frowned upon, but not anywhere like here in the United States.
Exactly. And Iron, you're
Ladies and
still with
gentlemen,
us,
you're
right?
tuning in right now. It's 8:11 in the city of Calcutta. If you're just tuning in to WSCAM Scam, we have Scammer Jammer on the line. We've been talking for about an hour, having a conference about the scam problem, doing what the government should be doing. Everybody, please sub to Scammer Jammer.
Yes.
And Thrill Seeks has just joined us. Please sub to Thrill Seeks as well. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
I was just asking, Iron, you're still here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was funny when he's WSCM.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's what
he
we
does
use
that
for,
bit.
for our one fake radio station that we have. And
you use it too?
Yeah.
I don't ever mean to do something somebody else has been doing.
Oh, that's fine.
It's funny when you
I'm small
both do
time
it.
anyway, but I have a couple of videos out there called WSCAM.
Oh, we do. It's WSCM, not. Is that what you said? WSCM?
He says WSCAM, and you say WSCM, so it's different.
Okay, good. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, but I do mean I do want to see if we can get Scammer Jammer to 3,000 subs ASAP. I think you've been hovering around 2,200 maybe. You definitely deserve a lot more, and I think that your content is definitely, there should be commercials on TV showing it. It's entertainment. It provides awareness. It's everything that scam baiting should be. So I really want to get people to go to your channel if they have not. I'm sure everybody in this chat and around the world who's watching us or listening has heard of you. But sometimes we hear of things we don't always sub. So please sub to Scammer Jammer. And then we have Thrill Seeks. Check him out. Stop at his channel. If you want to grow your channel, he puts your channel up. He spins a wheel. It's just a really good, fun atmosphere. Anything we could do to help anybody.
Absolutely.
I really want to help and see people grow.
Well, we can't thank y'all enough for being here. This has been amazing. I'm sorry we went way longer than, I think I just told you like half an hour. So I'm really sorry that I took up so much of y'all's time.
This is a subject that I'm happy to talk about. There's a lot to unpack here, and there's global politics, there's technology, there's the ethics of criminality. There's a lot to there's a lot to talk about, and I'm happy to talk about it all day.
It's definite that, anybody could see how passionate you guys are about doing this. So it's entertainment, and we, like I said, we love it, but it's also, it shows how much you care about the human condition, and you really taken a personal anger that there's these idiots out there scamming our population, whether they're young or old. So, I mean, I think there's not a soul in the world that wouldn't applaud you guys after watching one of your videos, and we love what you do, and we appreciate you definitely having our back. I had about another 5 hours worth of questions for you guys. Like I said, it's like I'm meeting Motley Crue, but I know everybody's got stuff to do, and I think people want to get to their jobs.
You couldn't have said a bigger compliment.
I know. We're speechless for sure.
Yeah, I mean, thanks you for being speechless on something my dumbass said. But eventually, we'll get into talking about your sitcoms coming out and your HBO special and everything I envision happening for you guys. So,
absolutely.
I mean, I think you're right in your infancy. Even though we look at you as the scambaiting gods, you really have only been doing this for a year or so. You said. So I think even for being in the baby steps of it, I think the world is gonna be your oyster. I really see big things for you guys, and I'm so honored that you're on our little show.
I'm happy to talk. Get in touch with Iron, schedule something. I'm happy to do this again. There's a lot more to unpack here. One last thing I'll say real quick is people don't realize, but because I have to, unfortunately, was in the position to talk to these victims, it's not just I lost money in a gift card. People have to close their bank accounts. They have to, it causes family problems. The shame of when they actually realize they got scammed, it's horrible. So everyone out there who's listening, just raise awareness, if not us, with some other scam baiter. And just don't assume that the person the people who are in your lives that understand what the scams are. Tell everybody. Say, hey, do you know about these Amazon scams? Do you know about if a foreign person calls you, just hang up. And that's what I tell everybody. We're, pretty skilled at protecting ourselves, and this is something that I take a lot of precautions. The average person should just hang up on anyone with a foreign accent calling you. Just hang up on them.
Absolutely, because I agree. I take a lot of precautions as well. So unless you know what you're doing, if you answer that call, you're opening up to being on their lists, which will never stop. And you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that.
Nope.
So
hanging up is the best defense. I made a mistake, and I told my 91-year-old step grandma, if they call, you just start talking about dragons. But PCH would not leave her alone. That's a different story we won't get into now, but she's safe, thank God. So now she knows, just hang up. She did not win $25 million, and there's no Mercedes coming.
The Publishers Clearinghouse scam?
Yeah, those idiots. Well, actually, this one was from their fraud department. It was a division of that. Once she gave me the number and I called, you can tell it's the same guys from Jamaica, although they sound very Americanized now. They've been practicing getting rid of their accent. But it was along the same lines. But it was not the Prize Patrol, but it was something along those lines. It was just a newer scam that they're doing.
One of those guys about a month ago, and the video, I'm going to try to get that out as soon as possible because I've been talking about it, and I've been I have a stockpile of things to get done. But the Publishers Clearinghouse, again, I didn't even know about this scam, and we were but anyway, go ahead. Your grandma was talking to the Publishers Clearinghouse scammer?
Well, they had gotten their hooks into her for 3 weeks. And I just happened to go to Thanksgiving dinner, which I never do. I'm kind of a loner, and I'm fine with a 6-pack and the girl next door type of thing on Thanksgiving. It's just another day to me. But I did go to Thanksgiving this time, and my stepmom in passing had mentioned that her mom was talking with people from the Publishers Clearinghouse that called her saying she won $25 million. And she said, I know what you've been doing for the last few months. Maybe you should talk to her. And I did. And then it was the exact same idiots that call people and say they're going to come to your house and deliver you $25 million in a brand new Mercedes, but you need to give them $500 in fees over the phone in the form of a gift card first. So she's aware now. So she never gave them any money.
The same criminal that I talked to, who basically I wasted 2 days of this guy's time. And again, first he wanted gift cards, and I told him that I got bit by a tiger, and my hand was bleeding all over the gift card. I actually told him I went out to the shed and got a Dremel and was trying to, with a power tool, trying to chip the blood off of the card, and listened the whole time. Then switched to wanting me to wire money, or wanted me to send money to a person in Florida who I actually got a hold of. And it was a victim in Florida. It was an 81-year-old woman in Florida who was receiving checks, cashing the checks into her bank, and then the scammer had access to her bank account. And we were able to stop, freeze $43,000 in her bank account. And she had cashed over $100,000 worth of checks in 6 months.
Wow.
And this Publishers Clearinghouse scammer gave me another person's name after it gave me the first victim's name. Gave me a person in Colorado who I wasn't able to get a hold of. But I could not believe the amount of money that this guy had stolen from. He had one victim send 2 checks for $19,800. Again, all of what they were doing, I kind of try not to give away any of the scammers' tactics, but what they were doing was using a tool on the internet to find elderly victims. And they were calling elderly victims in wealthy areas and telling them that they, again, won the lottery or won Publishers Clearinghouse. They were coming to their house. I'm going to get that video out. I'm glad you reminded me. I'm going to get that video out soon.
Yeah, the more awareness we can get on that, the better.
Yeah.
Oh, it was unbelievable. He told me, "Oh, we're going to come over to surprise your wife with balloons." And
balloons.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, that's awesome that y'all can try to save people, and that's a really good point, Hammer, because I need to pay more attention to these mules that they send me. I've actually been reporting them to the police. Maybe that's not the best strategy. Maybe it's better to reach out to them myself.
I advise against that. So what I did. So, again, I have a specific set of skills. When I got this information from the scammer, he gave me a person's information, and just out of curiosity, I was able to find some information that the person might be an elderly victim. But I don't advise trying to call victims because you don't know who you're calling.
Right.
If you can get information of the banks, that's what I recommend. If you're getting a bank account, call the bank and report fraud to the bank. That's mostly what I do. What I do is I call when I get a Money Mules bank account or, hey, send money here. I will call the bank and say I need to report fraud or law enforcement.
Right.
Because you don't know if the person that you're calling is a victim.
Right.
I felt pretty confident that the information that I found from the victim's name, it gave me a first and last name and an address, and I found some information that indicated to me that they were probably a victim. The person actually happened to pick up the phone and unbelievably kept meticulous records, gave me 10 different bank account information of 10. So people don't know, but a lot of what I do behind the scenes is calling banks and reporting or getting a hold of places like AnyDesk or the service providers and reporting phone numbers. There's actually a lot that goes into this. But I recommend that if you're getting information, you're doing the right thing. Call law enforcement. You can go to IC3, which is a way to report, or the FCC or FTC and report things on their websites, and call law enforcement if you can. That's the best thing to do. I don't recommend calling victims.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes the victims, they're actually mules.
Right, exactly.
And they don't know.
Some of them don't know, but some of them do know. They do.
Right. So it's. I mean, sometimes they become criminals, but a lot of times it's people that have lost money and they're trying to make back money and they know they're doing bad things. It's a mess. All I know is I kind of try to stay away from the PCH because I've been told by people that have been trying to track them that if you make them angry, they may take it out on their victims. And they're very dangerous people. They may sound geeky on the phone to you or I, and we know that they're scammers and we can waste their time, but
No.
they're dangerous people, and they have mules and people that live in the United States next to victims. So I just don't want to ever be responsible for getting somebody to be hurt.
This PCH scammer that I talked to, he wasn't the typical person sitting at, maybe he wasn't the typical scammer that I normally talk to. He was extremely aggressive, did sound dangerous. He sounded like a professional, like he knew what he was doing. And yeah, he was really so greedy once he thought that he was going to get, $25,000 from me, that he did ignore, me saying, "Oh, I got bit by a Bengal tiger." But up until that point, he was extremely aggressive. There's a lot of points where he was yelling at me that I just played it cool. But what really shocked me was the amount of money that this 81-year-old woman had cashed through her bank account that he was withdrawing out of her bank account. And there was another person out there that he gave me their information. I can't imagine how much money we're talking about here, because this one victim had $100,000 put through her bank account, $43,000 still in the account, $70,000 that the fraud expert that I talked to at the bank was able to see, and the amount that she had kept track of was over $100,000 in just a couple of months. And that's one person. This criminal gave me another person's information. I have no idea. So I followed up with the victim that I talked to, got a letter from a 3-letter agency here in the U.S. that she needs to stop cashing these checks immediately, that it's a crime. We were able to send a detective over to her house working with law enforcement because she was an innocent victim. But people don't understand, if you're cashing these checks into your bank account, you can be held liable. You really can. Even if you don't know that you're a victim, you're still part of a crime.
Right, exactly.
Good
Unfortunately, because especially the true victims, like, you really hate to hear that they're participating in crimes and they have no clue, No idea. It's just so sad. So somebody was asking in chat, I know I missed tons of great chat messages, and I'm really sorry. I'm really bad at keeping up with chat and listening to the conversation, so I apologize to everybody. But I did see somebody asked, is there any way that you guys have any place that they can report numbers to you?
To report?
That's a question for Iron. Iron, is
there
any
like
way
they would like to report numbers. Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on Discord and then send us a DM.
Okay.
Or you can email us. That's scammerjammer74@gmail.com.
And you have Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah, I have to say this. We do vet the numbers. We're not going to blindly call a number in case of
absolutely
people want to dox people. We do research them, so
sure.
If you have a scam number, we're happy to check it out for you, but we're not just going to blindly call it. We do vet them first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have to say that because unfortunately someone tried to dox one of their, I don't know who it was, but
so if you want Scammer Jammer to call you, this isn't the way to do it, is what you're saying. Right. All right. Well, it has been like unbelievably amazing to have y'all here. It's just so much great information. I'm actually going to rewatch the stream because I just want to hear everything again because it was so informative. And is there anything that you guys anything that you guys have coming up or anything else that you wanted to talk about? Feel free to talk about anything that you want, or if there's any future plans that you guys have that you'd like to share with everybody.
Hammer, if you want to start, and then I can take that after.
I think I've said this is an in-depth subject, so I'm happy to come back and talk to you a lot more.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more to unpack. But my message to everyone is just tell everyone about these scams. Hey, have you heard about this Amazon refund emails, text messages that are going on, robocalls that are happening? just hang up. That's my message. Is tell people about it. Everyone you know. Hey, direct them all to our channel. We definitely need the support. Just come and watch our channel. That's my message.
Absolutely.
All right, and then I mean, we try to have videos Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday come out. We do live streams. December is a little bit different because with the holidays, with everything going on, with the craziness, we haven't been streaming as much, but we will be trying to get back to it when we can. Like yesterday, normally we stream, but unfortunately, power went out, so we weren't able to stream. And there are a couple of things there, but I mean.
So Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, is that what you said?
Yesterday.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, correct?
Oh. Yeah, for videos, yeah.
Okay. Oh, for videos. And then when do you normally stream and where so people know kind of where to look for you?
We try to stream on Twitch Monday and Thursday, and then on YouTube on Wednesday.
And that's the Scammer Jammers on Twitch?
Yep.
Yes.
And Scammer Jammer on YouTube?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, and we have both those links, so please follow them on Twitch if you have a Twitch account. And also, like I said, if you can support them financially, they do have memberships on their YouTube. And I'm sure you guys probably have some kind of membership on your Twitch too, right?
Yeah, as subscribers.
Yeah, so if you can financially support them, please do that because that would be awesome. If you can't, just please subscribe to both channels and make sure you watch their videos all the way through because YouTube's going to be more likely to recommend them if they have that, some higher retention. So make sure you watch them all the way through and then like and comment.
Yep, appreciate that. And then, anytime you want to have us back on, just let us know and we can.
Absolutely, we would love that.
To talk about.
Right, Take?
Yeah. I mean, anytime. I mean, we can talk for hours about this. I'm just as passionate as the next person, and just listening to them talk. I mean, I think it's awesome to have them talk this knowledge to everyone.
Yes.
I'm so happy that Britney Spears has me blocked and will not be taking up our time. So we have plenty of other days where we can have them back if they're willing to come on.
He shares a birthday with Britney Spears, so he's determined to have her on the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but she's blocked me, and I really didn't do anything to deserve a block. But anyway, yeah, that's it for me. I mean, I think I've already told you how humble I am that you're here, and
yes,
thankful
and we definitely
that you did this for us.
Yes, and we definitely want to have you back. It was a pleasure.
More than happy to, and both of you, thank you so much for trying to spread the word about these scams, just being generally awesome people.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's so sweet of you. Thank y'all so much. Everyone in chat, give Scammer Jammer a clap and make sure you subscribe to their channels. And thank you guys so much for being here.
3,000 right around the corner, folks.
Yep.
Let's get them to 3,000 subs.
Appreciate it. All right, guys, gals.
And I mean subscribers, not meatball subs.
Yeah, or meatball subs, right?
10,000 subs to George Pica.
You gotta get that extra cheese and the extra sauce and the extra meatballs.
Now my day's complete. There it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great
later.
day.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was awesome, huh, Take? I'm so grateful that they were here with us, and it was just such a pleasure having them. I just want to play one more clip of theirs.
CJ.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Hammer was saying something.
Oh, was he?
Name's backwards. The whole time I was calling. Take a glass of water was called CJ. It was called CJ. I had him backward.
Well, let's watch one more clip of theirs, and then and then we'll be.
No, I hear you, Hammer.
Just hold on a second. We'll watch one more clip, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Where is the money?
I have $5,000 right here, and it's all bloody. And then there's other money over there on the counter.
So can you take a picture of the $5,000 right now and show it to me that you have it in front of you?
Picture?
Yes. Do you know how to click a picture from your phone?
This is George's phone. He left it here.
So do you see the camera options? Okay, so hi, take the last thing instead of you all wasting time. Is older to pack the money also. So have you packed the money in the box? She's not listening. She thinks she wants to wash the
No. Why
You
would
were
I
supposed
do
to be doing
that?
George's. You were supposed to be doing George's work, right? George told you to complete this, so you have to cooperate.
I've been cooperating the whole time. All he said that was there was a
Yes.
bank mistake, and that he didn't want the
No,
money
you are
because
still
he
not
didn't
going.
earn
You are
it,
still not going to
and
the
he would
point.
never keep anything that he
The
didn't
main
earn and work for.
the
'Cause
main
that's not
point, the
fair if
main
he didn't
point
earn and
right
work
now
for it.
is
And he
that
said,
you
"Granny, I
need
need you
to
to go to the
complete
bank and get
George's work.
$5,000 more
Can you please
and
let
wait
me
for
talk? Can you
instructions."
please
And
let
that's
me talk?
exactly
Can
what
you
I
please
did.
let me talk? Can you please let me talk? Now, the point is here right now is George has told you to complete this process. So you need to listen to us and complete it. Go and pack the money. Go and get the box. Where is that box with the other money?
It's over there on the table. Oh, I didn't hear you.
Hello?
Oh,
I mean, connected to hotspot or what?
what? I can't hear you. What's in the box?
Yeah, when George is back, call us.
Hello?
What's the password, bro? Okay.
What?
Hello?
I can't hear you.
Call me once George is back home.
He's working, and I have to take care of this for him. Oh, I heard something
saying
about a
call me once
box.
George
What's
is
in the
back home.
box? What's in the box?
No. Call me once George is back home.
He's working, and he's counting on me to take care of this for him. I'm just trying to take care of this. How am I supposed to do that?
No, you don't have to take care of it. You need to take care of yourself right now and call me once George is back home.
No, he's counting on me. Hello?
Just hung up.
Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome clip. I was so glad that they were on, weren't you?
Oh my God, it was. I've been watching those guys all year. I mean, following their 30-minute clips that they do as they break down their 9-hour baits and stuff like that. It's just so entertaining.
Absolutely. So again, make
So it
sure
was
that
definitely. I loved having them.
Yes. So again, make sure that you all subscribe to them. And if you watch Twitch, subscribe on Twitch and as well as YouTube and support them. They're just great guys anyway.
Absolutely.
Well, we did it, We had another 3-hour stream. Can you believe it? Every time we make it through one,
did a lot of the talking, and it was very knowledgeable. So it was nice to put away the clowns and the playmates and our normal type of nonsense type show.
Yep.
So it was very informative. We didn't make any prank live phone calls today. I don't know if we should do that. I got some stuff to do, I guess, today, and then I know
maybe
it's getting
Thursday
late
we'll
and people need to work, and West Coast time is starting to be around rush hour time.
Maybe Thursday we'll try
I'm
to
still
have
trying to figure out.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just still trying to figure out the times. I know the time is 8:38 p.m. in Calcutta because that's what my watch is set to now. But I don't know about Australia, England, and California. I kind of know.
Yeah. Well, maybe on Thursday we'll try to push the guests up to 8 a.m. I think that they would both be good with that, and then maybe that'll give us more time to make calls after we're done. You want to try that?
Yep, and I want to make sure that we play some of the clip of the conversation we had with Stephanie. We always seem to run out of time, and that was a great conversation. And she took time out of her day to talk with us.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to make sure we play some of her clip at least. And then we have a lot of people in the chat that are just amazing scambaiters as well, and hopefully they'll come on our show one day. But I know we've been putting out links of Little Peace. Make sure everyone subscribes to her. West
Yes.
Haven, Always and Forever, Fun Guy Media. Betty Bam Bam put out an awesome video. Just everyone subscribe to everybody, please.
Yeah, Betty Bam Bam, will you please link your channel as well? Because we would love everyone to visit your channel.
Oh, and Chester Drawers too.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many, so I'm gonna look like a rude person because I'm gonna forget people. But I know that Raz and Stephanie and everybody in the chat has been real good about putting people's links and stuff. So
yeah, and if y'all haven't, we need to. Yeah, if anybody's links we ever miss, it's honestly unintentional because it's very hard for me to watch the chat and concentrate on the stream and listen to the guests. So please do not take it personally. There's not been one person in this chat that I haven't wanted to talk to or post their link. It's just really hard to keep up with everything with me being new at doing this. As I get better, I'll be able to do better. And so if there's anyone ever in here, hi, yes, welcome. Just please bear with us. We definitely want to post your links and get everybody out there as much as possible. But Thursday,
Lisa, are those videos posted? You mean you have 3 smacking vids? I love Lisa's work. I just don't think she posts enough stuff. But she's got a channel too.
Oh, well, I would love to. I don't know if I've been to your channel, Lisa. I'm so sorry. I would love to visit it because I know you're an awesome baiter.
She lets them have it. She lets them have it.
Yeah, she does. She does.
And I mean, they think I get off to a quick start. She immediately starts the conversation with "Hello, scammer."
Yeah, and here's Betty's.
Awesome! Everybody, go check out Lisa's videos if you want some good rage. I hope. I'm very excited now.
Yep, and Lisa, I just pinned Betty's channel to the top, so please visit Betty if you haven't heard her. She has like the most beautiful, enticing accent I've ever heard. So please go visit her channel and check her out.
I hope Betty will talk with us one day.
He has a lot of videos with his birds, but then he has some great scam baiting videos too. So, and then Thursday, so we'll try to start the guests a little earlier so we have time for some other stuff. But we will be having Agent 009 from Harvey Dent's channel, as well.
Oh, nice! Love that guy.
Yeah, and as well as How to Delete will also be here. And we'll just be discussing with both of them what
I would say I love that guy too, but he would get offended.
Yeah. So they'll both be here. I'll ask them if we can push it up just a little bit, so y'all try to come in just a tad early, because I guess we didn't know. Not early. Stephanie said earlier. Yeah, I know we like to start early, but we didn't realize how much we would talk to the guests. We thought the interviews, like talking to them, would be about 30 minutes, and all of them are going a lot longer, which is awesome. We want to do that.
Maid said it's like 11 o'clock, and Maid is in Australia, right?
Oh,
so
PM?
Maid and Abyss. So maybe we need to talk about making the show like 3 a.m. maybe, so the Australian people don't have to wake up. Or how does that work? Be there so late.
Then I'll be asleep,
so,
and I will I'll mess up really bad because I'll be too tired.
I just happen to love all my new Australian friends. It's just been amazing. I've learned so much about that country, and I'm so worried about the kangaroo problem. There's 50 million kangaroos in Australia, and I think only 24 million citizens. So we just need to keep an eye on that problem.
And Fun Guy said he's chatting with How to Delete now. Well, great. Fun Guy, remind him that he's on the show on Thursday, because I know he forgets stuff. But he will be on Thursday. If y'all haven't checked out his channel, we'll be linking it a lot on Thursday. And 009 from Harvey Dent's channel will be here as well. And maybe even Peter,
awesome.
If we have time for Peter. there's something that I wanted to bring Peter back for to talk about that he was telling me that I thought was interesting. So we'll see if we have time for that. But
good.
So we will be off tomorrow. We both have some stuff to do. And then Thursday we will be back starting at 7 a.m. Eastern, and then have our guests on around 8 to 8:15 Eastern. Hopefully do more baiting calls together. Yeah, it'll be good. And are you planning on flooding later, or don't you know?
Probably. I got to take care of some grown-up things today, I think. And but I mean, it lives in me, you know. It's like I hear people on there messing with scammers, and I have to join in and put my 2 cents into. So 99.9% chance I'll be calling the Indian criminals today.
Okay. So if anybody wants to watch Take Live, you probably will be able to later this afternoon. I don't know. I really need to work
If not
on...
me, definitely Lisa and Raz and you know, some of the other Flood family. I know that they're religiously there as well. So
Absolutely. I really need to work on my virtual machine today as well as schoolwork, because I did almost zero schoolwork yesterday. And I just got a new laptop a couple weeks ago, and my virtual machine is really not ready to be invaded by scammers. So I have got to work on that today. So I might not be flooding today, but I will be posting a video later, and of one that I did yesterday, and we'll be getting ready for Thursday. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday. Hey, Callie, for coming in. We appreciate you stopping by.
And we still need to. I'm still curious. I'm dying to talk with Mary and Mary's little lamb. So I know we've been in talks. Hopefully we can do that next week. I mean, unless Britney Spears calls me and says, clear the calendar, I'm coming on, and we're going to talk for 4 or 5 hours. Or Men at Work. I'm still trying to get a Men at Work reunion going.
Yeah.
But I don't foresee those things happening. So if anybody wants to come in, promote anything next week, please reach out to CJ, and we'll make it happen. And you can just come on and talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether you have a channel or not.
Yes, except for politics or anything racial. Racism. You can talk about anything. I don't like
definitely no racism. We will hang up on you.
And I don't like politics. I just don't like politics.
I mean, if we agree with you, then we're okay.
No. I don't agree.
It's better to not talk about politics.
I don't like to be involved. I don't agree with any of it. I like to stay out of it. So that's just my personal preference. But any other topic, sure. And
unless I run for office. If Dean Michael Myers runs for office in 2024 and puts on the red tie and the suit, and he kind of has his publicity team bury those nasty pictures for me in an alley with somebody that I may or not have paid a couple dollars to, I might run for office. Then we will promote politics on this show.
Maybe we might have to stream it on your channel, because even then I don't think I want to be involved.
I'll fix the problems around the world. I'll put us all in the same time zone.
And again, if anybody here for some reason is not subbed to Take, make sure you do, because we may or may not stream over on his channel. Plus, he's just got great content. But I'm sure everybody here is. But just in case somebody here is not subbed to Take, make sure you go over and sub to him and put the notifications on. So if we go live on his channel, you'll be able to jump on in. All right. Well,
All right. Thank you so much, each and every one. I love each and every one of you. I love that you're here. This is such a fun morning for me. I love waking up with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
I got to first watch a Betty Bam Bam video when I was getting out of bed, and then I got to talk with CJ, and then 40 close friends plus Scammer Jammer. My day's set. I don't see how it can get any better now.
Yep, and I'm sure you'll be taking a nap soon anyway. You got to be tired after all that this morning.
I'm sure.
Everybody wants to know if you don't say goodbye. Don't you say goodbye?
I will say goodbye. I just don't want to ever be rude and cut you off. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all. You guys have a great day. Thank you.